Hold on.
Okay,
please
well,
do.
Hello,
Hi,
and
guys.
good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Role Player. I had the music going. Didn't want that yet.
Yes!
Oh my God, it's Friday. I'm so excited to be here with these amazing people to play this amazing game.
It's so fun.
For this amazing audience out there. I am all kinds of happy tonight. So super stoked to see everybody. Welcome to the Role Players. Welcome to the greatest role-playing game ever. That's our Jersey Shore. Motherfucking D&D, yo! I feel like I need a gold chain.
Another Lincoln D&D.
Another tally mark on the limited amount of times you can do that before you perish.
Right.
You only have so many of those in you, dude.
One
I see
night.
that they take a lot out of you.
We better not go to a tavern tonight. We better not go to a tavern.
Oh shit.
I feel like once per long rest you can.
I think so.
Yeah. Otherwise you gotta roll for psionic damage.
It's recharge 5 through 6.
Totally.
Right, exactly. Let me roll here. I'm gonna see what I get.
Yeah, let's see. Let's start the night with a roll. What do you got?
That's not a recharge. We're just
all
that's
right.
all there is.
Damn,
Shut it down. Shut it down.
That is a wrap on that one.
Yeah.
That was the opposite of a recharge.
Well, hello everybody out there, and welcome to another episode. I'd say we didn't talk about who's doing announcements tonight, but I'm going to give it to Azar. She's going to give us.
I said I was ready.
Oh, well, look at you. It's meant to be.
So first of all, countdown to holiday season. I can't believe that this is
Oh my gosh.
getting close to the very end of the year, and
Yes.
everybody's probably taking economic hits this year. Most people, most industries. So what better way to find affordable stocking stuffers than to get a thoughtful mini from our very own bespoke sponsors who offer minis of all kinds, all shapes and sizes, minis that you might not be able to find other places, minis that you could just tailor to the exact personality of the person that you love from Thrill Studio. And you can get a special code of 15% off if you use our code, which is TRP15. So get yourself some minis, y'all.
Yeah, do it.
Get yourself some minis, y'all.
All your gift-giving conundrums, because for a reasonable price.
Oh, hold on. I'll show you my mini I got from Thrill Studios. I'll be back.
Yeah, I have a whole bunch right here that
This is serious.
like this mini. I think I showed it maybe during Numenera. This is I think from the Hate game. And I got some of these crazy hound things that we'll see. Little preview for some future shit you guys are gonna battle.
Yeah.
That's my Rasputin, and he's holding like double fireballs.
Double fist and fireballs.
I know.
Right.
Oh my God.
With a smoking jacket on.
I'd like
Wow.
The smoking jacket. He's like Otto's dad.
Yeah. I'd like to
Smoking
believe
jacket.
that his hands are doing this, and then that's why they're on fire.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think we only see what we want to see. I thought he was giving like a big double fuck you, like.
Yeah, with
Just
two
double birding.
mage hands, two like conjured mage
Mage
hands, of
hands.
just like.
Right.
You know what? Fuck you. All right,
like
no, you can do that. That's cool.
I'm old Greg.
Oh,
Oh.
shit.
We've gone to that part of YouTube now.
Yes. Speaking of drinking Baileys from a shoe, let's talk about our other sponsor.
Oh yeah, our other sponsor, which doesn't have anything to do with drinking Baileys from a shoe, but is another sponsor. Skull Splitter Dice.
Splitter.
Skull splitter.
Splitter.
Yeah, so Skull Splitter Dice also can make terrific gifts for your loved ones, especially those that you know are D&D fans. And you can use a coupon from the role players there as well, TRPSS15. Save yourself 15%, make your friends happy, make your budget happy, and make your to-do list happy all at once. What more could you ask?
Too bright.
Do it this week, because really you don't want to be last second, because then you might have to pay for expedited shipping, which
It's
you know gets like really expensive.
don't want
That's
that.
my thing. So this year I'm trying to be ahead of time. My way to keep things reasonably budgeted, and do it today. Go check them out.
Get
They're
yourself
awesome
some
sponsors.
Skull Splitter.
Nice, dude.
Hey.
I kind of want to
Sorry,
shoot like a skull splitter commercial now with you and like hairband.
I've
Oh
got
my
several
gosh, yes.
vocal runs that I am like ready to audition for that.
Oh yeah,
That I've been working on. So
love
like
it.
that, I love it.
that's so cool.
And like I'm an out of work actor, so if we can pitch
Yeah.
this to anybody,
Right.
I
So if
mean,
anybody's out there
Yeah.
listening, or fans, if you want to get a Kickstarter going for this, let's talk.
yeah, it's a Kickstarter for my
Patreon.
skull splitter vocal plugs.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Term underemployed actor.
I have a
Like
I like that.
guys, if it gets to that point, then just I'm out. I'm out.
I have a feeling that
I am
someone is
not
gonna do it.
Yeah.
Our community is so great that someone's probably gonna do it now. They're gonna make that Kickstarter right now.
Yeah.
Please no, please don't do that.
I do have like another announcement though, kind of
Oh.
on this segue, is that we have an amazing commercial coming out that we have
Oh, yes.
handcrafted,
Do we
handwritten.
now?
Our team, our beautiful team, has also even hand composed the music for this, hand directed, hand DP'd, handwritten, hand acted, everything. And we're going to be sharing this amazing commercial soon. We hope you'll share it everywhere and love it and like it everywhere. And the reason I'm thinking about it is because our friend Chad is particularly awesome in it. And I know that when we're done with this commercial, we're going to need to do another, and it's going to have you in rock metal, like death metal.
Well,
So
Yeah.
I'm glad you
Here,
mentioned that, but I have to say they all did amazingly. I can't wait for y'all
Oh,
to see
yeah.
it out there, and we are going to air it. We've decided we're going to air it before next episode. So next episode will be our last Nacrally show for the year. We are going to do a Christmas one shot on the 18th, and then we're going to take a break for 2 weeks for the holidays. A
Can
little
it be a
downtime.
Hanukkah one shot and a Kwanzaa one shot and a holiday one shot also? Or are we like those folks that only do Christmas one shots?
You know, I like the inclusivity of that. I'll just throw out what I've written, and we'll just go back.
I
and
say
do
it's
new thing.
Life Day. It's Life Day from Star Wars. It's a Life Day. I'm pitching for it. I'm pitching for it here and now. We play in a Star Wars one shot, and it's Life Day themed.
We have
That would be fun.
Jamie, our amazing inclusivity guy, playing
Yeah.
winter one shot.
It'll be almost as good
Yeah.
as the Christmas Star Wars movie.
Oh my gosh. That's,
Please, just crickets.
And yes, there is a Star Wars tabletop role-playing game, which we have actually done a one-shot of. We've done a couple
Wow.
on
We've done
this
it
channel.
twice. Yeah, they're on our YouTube channel.
So-
If you don't know that we have a YouTube channel, head over there. We have
Check it
those one
out.
shots. We have 45 of our episodes up there, with more to come. And speaking of our DEI expert, Jamie and I are working on porting these over to podcasts because we've had a lot of requests for people who don't watch anything but they want to hear the show. So we're going to be making these
Oh.
these
I
episodes
love that
available
idea.
on podcasts.
I am such a
is special.
podcast person. I play them while I'm doing chores,
Oh, totally.
working out. So I would love that.
Yeah.
No,
So,
that is so cool of you. I always intend to do that and don't do that.
No.
I mean,
Well, maybe your new chance to start is listening back to our show, even though you've already experienced it firsthand. I don't know.
yeah, you might
probably actually
pick up on some things you
feels like
forgot
the
about.
first time.
there are certain moments of the last several episodes that I do personally think are really funny. I just never get a chance to watch them. So this time I'll be like laughing at my like all alone in my garage.
Great.
All right. so
Speaking
we-
of what happened last
there.
episodes, I don't know because I was not feeling well, and I can't wait for this recap.
Yes. Well,
Ow.
speaking of, I think let's get the show on the road. Otto, our bard, is going to take us in on our intro, and then we'll come right back and recap that episode for you, Mads.
After these messages,
We'll be right back.
we'll be right back.
Let me tell you a story about a time that me and my friends found a new world. It started on a ship, brought together by a storm. We traveled through the rift to a new world beyond. We were thrown into shackles, we were hunted down by thieves. is, but we'll never let it stop us from saving Anacrally. For we are thee.
And we're
Let's do
back.
Krampus.
We're back.
Krampus.
Okay.
Krampus.
What do you think about that? It's instead of a Christmas carol, it's called a Christmas carrion crawler.
There you go. That's
love
the
it,
D&D.
yeah.
Okay, well, we
I
are
love
back.
it.
We are back live.
That's awesome.
So
We're back.
We're
Back, baby.
Yeah, we're back. All right, so let's review for Maddie and everyone else what happened last time in Anacrally. So, as you all floated down the river from Pelkey, discussing the rescue you just made of the family from Asley, the father of which ended up being an archivist for the Kingdom, and told you the contact that he was sent to meet never showed. Another couple of hours going downriver later, you came upon the burning wreckage of another boat, an Erisette, applying the knowledge of the swamp that you've gathered from the book that Tabitha bought you in Asley, and a few side conversations that you had off camera with Hortzak. You're starting to feel very kind of at home in this swamp environment. So you took the lead and you went out and explored this boat, and you could tell that something ambushed this boat. There were arrows and spears, and it was burned to a crisp. You found remnants of books, and you found tracks, and you all decided to follow these tracks out into the marshy land, where you came upon a clearing full of these odd insectoidal type creatures, the Miri, and one very large troll. And also there you saw a dwarf roped up between the trees with apparently his companions being devoured close by. He looked to be the only one still alive from this ambush. You quickly concocted a plan to rescue him. Seville, going invisible, crept over and first used the blood of one of these victims to recharge the ring that he had lifted from Necromancer. And then, cleverly slipping it on the dwarf's finger, you waited for the signal. At that moment, the big troll came out, and you could tell that it smelled something was off. But Otto, quick thinking, created a diversion over in the grass of the sound of some large beast, and all of the creatures charged in. Seville turned the ring on the dwarf. The dwarf bamped out across to join the rest of your people. Seville started running back, and while it looked like you had pulled off this really clever and risky plan, Otto, you had other designs. All these creatures were bunched up, and you decided you're gonna take them out. And unleashing a big skull splitter spell, boom, shattered a whole bunch of them, and the fight was on. And again, an encounter I didn't expect you guys to engage in, but I was really impressed. Very smart fighting. You managed to take down quite a handful of the Miri, and then finally felling that big motherfucking troll. And the rest of the Miri, having maybe the connection with this troll, or just the fact that it was gone, this control vanished, they all scattered away, the remaining Miri, and left you guys to recover this dwarf. And Erisette, you found a few things in the cave there, including an ominous mark of Fornuge himself. But as you all
I gotta say, Dagmar did light it up with that dragon breath move.
Oh yeah, like Chris.
Still tasting that sulfur.
Yeah.
It's good.
Well, you had all decided after this that you better get the hell out of there, but Ebel, the dwarf, pulled Seville back and said, "There's some incredible danger headed toward the kingdom," and that's where we left off last week.
I just mentioned because Maddie wasn't here, and Tabby would definitely want to know or remember this,
Yes.
that Erisette, found 3 humongous diamonds in this list that I searched, along with 2
this
rubies. Big ones, each worth 800 gold.
Yowzers.
And I
Biggins.
gave one
Biggins.
to Dagmara and one to Tabby. And I
Wow.
said that you were the best friends a girl could ever have.
Oh my god!
And I guess me and Seville
That
are
was on a
Yeah.
liver.
And I
So Otto,
You are.
treasure hoard. I think it's going to us. Oh, here's a.
Otto was paid a bunch of money.
Otto's just
During
like,
a
he
game
pulls
that we
Seville
played.
aside and he's just like, did you see the diamonds? I mean, we got, I mean, the nerve of that. It's like, what are we? Are we nothing? Do we, I mean, my feelings are only so strong. I mean, I'm a fragile creature.
And I do not realize I misremembered in my mind. I was like feeling so generous, but it wasn't actually 800 gold. They were 140 gold each.
Okay.
I was gonna send you a message. I'm like, I'll let the nice moment go and I'll correct you later. But nice try.
Because if that were the case,
I
it'd be
got
like,
really excited
okay,
too. I was
let's-
like, all of my losses have been regained. but
Right.
It's not.
Yeah.
No,
That's
no.
why I did it.
we're like, okay, let's sell them and buy like a house. I don't know.
And done. And the mission's done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so
Garden I
That was
can
still
mess
very
with
sweet,
in my
Arisa. That was
downtime.
still very sweet.
how much is it worth? And adding it to my inventory again.
140.
140.
Maddie's like, ha 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 ha! I need a number.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk money.
Let's talk deposit. What was
Yeah,
that?
he ha ha. How much gold?
Calculating right now. So
So what do you guys want to do? I want to remind you that Ebel's pretty kind of messed up. You know, he's staggering. He's looking a bit. I mean, he's looking very hurt.
Did we get it? Were we able to do a short rest so he could like technically get little hit dice action going for him?
Oh, you mean as if he took a short rest, he could roll his hit die?
You know, I can't remember if we did that last time, but I'll say
my
if you
God.
if you
did.
want to do it right now, let me know. I mean, Hortzak already went to go get the boat and bring the boat closer. So, but if you want to
Maybe
try.
we'll take a short rest down by the river.
Oh, tell some stories by the fire.
Some stories about a couple of bear claws.
Let's just say that I gave Evil a few of those leaves that the petals that I
All right,
rolled
so
up.
Evil has
Yeah.
1 hit point back.
Maddie,
Give him a few.
We'll watch
Maddie,
it.
He can only get
Yeah.
1 hit point
No.
out of it.
don't be alarmed. I know it sounds like we're talking to someone auspiciously named Evil, but
Yeah.
their name is actually Ebel. So
Ebel, E-B-O-L.
like-
It is a dwarf.
Evil.
Yeah.
Evil
We're-
grasp.
we're like
Evil
we're,
grasp.
Grass.
we're kind of playing it. You know, we're not gonna kill him just because his name sounds really bad or anything.
Right.
We were
no,
just
no,
you
don't
know.
It's like
worry.
if you
playing
met
that
somebody
game? Okay.
named Littler, you wouldn't just kill him.
You wouldn't kill him. You would like,
You will get to know him first.
I'd,
then-
I'd be leaning toward killing them though. to
Right.
start
Lead
off.
off.
And,
But you gotta get to know him a little.
and if there's a
What's
Littler
his
out there, we're
favorite
really sorry. Okay.
When he
Rudolph.
says his favorite color is black, then you know which direction he's going.
All right. I'll ask Ebel. Ebel, what are you talking about, Carthen? Are you talking about a plot
Carthen?
to
I didn't-
kill the
I-
kin?
I didn't say Carthen. Let's get out of here. We can't stay. They'll be back.
Well, didn't you say something was coming to Carthen?
No, I said the kingdom.
Okay, let's get some of
Where?
that.
What city? Where?
like you mean in general and Eckerly, the kingdom?
In general.
More of a continent, isn't it?
Are you talking army? You're talking what?
I told you,
Oh.
got to get out of here.
We're going.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
We're
Gotta-
moving.
They're coming
hurry up.
back. That hooded figure will be back, and he brings more creatures. We need
Okay,
to go.
Hortzak, can we get back to your lair?
Hortzak is gone. He went to go back to get the boat and bring it down river to you guys.
We'll make our way down the river too.
Quickly. Yes.
Okay, so
So, Jed, are we on a boat?
no, you are on land right now.
Okay.
And to remind you, I mean, you're in the swamp. It is you're on kind of a section of the ground which is a little bit more firm. It's a little muddy here and there, but this seems to be kind of interwoven with a lot of marsh grass and a special kind of moss, which is allowing you to kind of walk a little bit easier here. And there was this clearing in front of this cave that this other group of monsters were using.
Okay, so I take Ebel and I actually put him up on my shoulders. Like I give him like a not a fireman carry.
Fireman's carry.
Like he's a little guy compared to me, so I put him on my shoulder.
He's a dwarf, though. I mean, he is not tall, but he is stocky and strong.
Please
Though.
tell me.
Are we talking 50 pounds? 50, 80
No, we're talking 205 or 10 pounds.
I tell you what.
dwarf.
Why don't you roll a strength check for me?
Please tell me you're setting him up for like an F5 right now.
Okay. So I get 12, and my strength addition.
You can add your athletics.
is
You can do athletics
minus
actually.
1, so I get 11. Wait, is it a
You're an
plus?
elf. You're not gonna be
Yeah.
like powerlifting.
Okay, so I get a 14. Am I able to help this dude, or
I'm gonna
Can we
say
just help
it's-
him along, like
yeah, you can.
support him under the arms?
You're gonna be able to help him, but you're not gonna be able to carry him. I mean, you're just gonna
okay, so
kind of hook an
try
arm
to-
and.
I'm like, okay, so this is what happens. I'm like, hey, Ebel, it's okay. Just come on my back. And he gets on my back. And I'm like, and I fall down.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you're just gonna go right into a kind of like muddy,
Splat?
know,
Did it go
swamp.
splat?
Just like,
I'm like, okay.
and you hear
never
him
mind.
groan, and again, his face is battered. His wrists are like, like the skin is cut away from the ropes, and he's just like, oh.
Does he lose a hit point?
I can,
Does he lose a hit point?
I can walk. I can walk, please. And he gets up to his feet. I'm good. Thank you. And he
and
just
I-
starts
and I-
kind of stumbling forward,
I
and
kind of
keeping a hand out away to keep you away.
I kind of like towards Snack, and I like kind of gesture and communicate in our telepathic communication way, and I'm like, can you go up by him and kind of just be the like something you could lay a hand on to kind of carry him along.
Okay. Well, roll an animal handling check for me. Let's see how your connection's looking.
And snack.
Ooh, not a great start.
Uh-oh.
Does it have like luck? Or does it not count?
Not
Only if it's a
great
1.
Start.
Oh,
5.
oh.
So
close.
you get that connection, and you're very confident that you understood, and Snot kind of looks back at you, and then she trots forward, and you see her coming up behind the dwarf, and then you slowly see her mouth start to open, and her teeth being bare, and she's lowering her front like she's about to pounce.
I'm like, all right, sorry, and I kind of just
You
like,
you grab
push
her,
him along,
grab her
and
by
I'm
the,
like,
by the collar, and it's like,
yeah.
it kind of gives you that look like, what? You just told me to, what? Fine. And just kind of walks a few feet away from you now. Wow, this is quite the
so
adventure
bad.
getting to the river.
This is so bad. But then I'm like, hey, Seville, let's try this. Let's fire. I'll take his hands and you take his feet.
Wait, I've got an amazing idea. Just grab him under the arm. I'll do it, and then we'll just walk him down to the boat.
Look at us struggling to carry somebody. Like,
And it's
are we
like-
not the worst
Let's go.
rescue
Let's just-
team?
It's
we
like,
We rescue a dude, and then we're like kind of mean to him, and he's mean back, which was a bummer. And now we're just sitting here being like, I don't know, like put your arms under his. Well, I was trying to carry him that way, but like we
Yeah.
just cannot
and
get
20,
this right now.
20
You know
feet
what?
ahead of you, you see Hortzak.
just-
He's got the boat, and he's just looking at you guys like, well,
If you think this was funny, you should have seen us in Vorden.
Okay,
Otto just
imagine.
positively, he has not even considered in his mind that he would ever carry anyone ever. Like he just
like-
it's not even. He's like waiting back at the boat. Like Otto does not carry.
it's only 20 feet, and he's walking. I mean, he's
All right.
he's definitely like not walking a straight line. He's
Yeah, let's
he's
just
hurt.
support him.
But he,
on the
no,
boat.
he pushes off anybody now. He's just like, just stay
Like-
away. I can fucking walk.
He's like,
and,
I'm fine.
yeah. And he gets to the boat, and he does let Hortzak kind of like give him an arm and help him into the boat, and then he just collapses, and his eyes close. You can see breathing deeply and definitely in pain and basically passing out.
Needs some rest.
Yeah. The rest of you get in the boat, and Hortzak really quickly. Well, I think it's time to get out of here. And he pushes down into the muck, and he starts.
What are we
getting-
going to do with our new refugee?
Well, I've got this, and I take out the journal that, the first one we saved there, Bilar.
Believe.
I'm sorry, Bilar.
Bilar. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to trigger you, Otto, but
As long as you
Bilar.
don't mention the vivisector part. Well, I guess I just did it.
so I'll pull out this journal and I'll start thumbing through it, and I'll kind of include everybody and see what we're seeing here from this. Bilar.
Okay.
And who is Balar?
Oh yeah, so
Oh,
Balar
so-
was the father. So you guys, when you first started off down this river, one of the first things that you encountered was a family in a small boat being attacked by these vines that was lifting the boat out of the water and trying to bring it in, these massive vines attacking plants. And so you killed the plants, you rescued this family, and the dad ended up being from Asley, working for the Kingdom's archives, and was down here supposedly meeting somebody, and was told it was relatively safe, and he's like, it's been an absolute nightmare down here.
Because we basically know the necromancers have made everything shitty here.
Yeah.
They've been here. So
Got it.
I'll look to Dagmar and I'll be like, hey, can you do this with your magic? And I'll do a little prestidigitation to start. I'll do one on Dagmar's clothing, her shoes, and warm them up and dry them up. And then I'll start doing it on Araset. Like, you have that capability, Dagmar.
Do I?
Yeah, you could warm up stuff if you
Yes,
know,
yes.
You mentioned something about
That's
some
what
kind of new
that's
magic.
what that does.
I'll
And I'm
show
just
you.
kind of like
Very
feeling my
flexible.
feet getting warm.
There we
I suppose
go.
it's just, oh, that's quite nice.
Yeah, so
Bill.
Tabby,
Can I try?
Araset and Dagmara are soaking wet. They've both been in the drink, so.
Oh,
what
cool.
that is.
Got it.
And I'm like feeling a little bummed out because like they all know this really easy to learn cantrip, but like I don't know it. And so
So, I have a question, Jed. My phone just died. Otherwise, I would text you.
Okay.
Can I use things that I recently learned yet?
Nope.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Put a pin in that.
Copy.
All right. So
While I'm doing the journal, hey Otto, do you have a second? Do you have the capability as we crawl down the river here on this boat? Can you identify this dagger I pulled off of that necromancer that attacked us in the market? It's got a neat little head on the pommel there. I want to see if it's any magical. I don't want to blow your spells. Arcane
it's-
energy or anything, but if you've got something you can take your time with, I'd appreciate it, man.
hand it over. It's just no matter at all. And
So-
I will try to do it without using a spell slot, meaning
All right.
I would need to take 10 minutes.
yeah, it's no problem. I mean, you see at this part, again, you're going deeper into this swamp, and when you first started, there was a lot more open space. You know, the trees further apart, light, even though it's kind of the sickly greenish yellow coming through the kind of swamp gas. It's now getting denser and darker and a thicker canopy overhead. And you're all alert as you're going down. But Otto, you take 10 minutes and you do get a reading on this dagger. It is indeed magical. And you understand that it essentially is known as a shadow dagger. So if you press on the end of the hilt for 1 minute, you get a plus 15 to stealth, and essentially gives you like a kind of like a shadowy kind of form. And I'll send you details.
You could say that I was ethereal, perhaps, or incorporeal.
It doesn't actually physically change. It just kind of is like, it was more like an illusion. It kind of masks you.
Does
It
it,
makes
like-
you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It just kind of wraps you in shadow.
Yeah.
Thing? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I tell Seville. Like, I, study the runes that are maybe etched into it or whatever the magical, and I like, oh, you see here, press there, and you'll all but disappear. And I hand it back to him.
Thank you, Otto. I love magic.
Yeah.
Careful though, it could be magic, and this is speculation on Otto's part. That sort of magic, well, it's likely born out of the Shadowfell, where communing with the shadows can have, well, its own set of complications. But
Well, I'll fit in perfect with this company, and I'll just tuck the dagger in.
Okay.
yeah, Otto just gives a little chuckle.
And is that a that's something that anybody could use, Otto? Do you think anybody can use it, or do you have to be a...
And I wink at over at Seville, and then I look over at Ariset, and I'm like, oh no, not just anyone. I'm afraid it has to be someone especially attuned to the weapon, which is not true, but I'm just like messing with her.
And lean into
I'll
being
go
a bit
into Otto's mind.
cheeky.
I'll go into Otto's mind and be like, all right, first round's on me for that one.
I love that you could read my mind and you knew that if you didn't answer that correctly, I was going to have some mischief, like wild sauce mischief on Seville.
I know. Well,
Now we're getting to know each other when.
Otto's being really pragmatic. He saw that how he answered that could turn it into the derailing of our adventure into you two fighting over the dagger. Like Otto is getting like...
You can see where that's going, and a big welcome to Lawful Stupid, who's just rating us right now. Hello, welcome everybody, and thank you for that follow. Welcome to the game.
welcome.
Can I ask a question, Judd?
Of course.
Okay.
What you got?
I'm assuming we're in Pelkey.
You're south of
going
Pelkey.
South of Pelkey. South. We're on the smallest
South of
river.
Alki.
No, you're on the larger river.
Okay.
So
got it.
Yes, the thing that
Well,
you're
we'll have
referencing
to change that.
when you left to go on this river, Tabitha, you weren't there, but I'm gonna say if you were there, you would have definitely have seen the smaller river on the left, going from that general area of this town of Pelkey.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Seville, I just I lean in and I ask, it's rather new, but is this how it's used, kind of? And I point my hand and I try to I create like the form of like a bubble, and then this like gesture of like it bursting up. So what I plan on doing with it is to create like these bubbles of mud just like rising up from the ground around Otto and just like bursting and like throwing mud onto his shoes and clothes.
You little...
It is. It's a
I'm
little...
practicing.
That's right. That's right.
So is that how it's done?
Yeah, it's kind of illusory, and you can do little things like produce little scents and stuff.
You just want to try to keep it off of a coat that's worth more than everything all of you own combined.
And I just turned to her and I was like, oh, what happened? Are you all right? Everything okay?
I'll manage.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, poor lad. There's some water right there, I think.
Here, I'll help get it off. And I take some water from the river.
No.
Throw it all over his coat to help. And like,
And it's like,
Yes.
and I'm like,
here,
it's
don't worry, it'll come out. And I
it's
rub it.
nasty swamp water. Stop it.
And I cast it one more time, and as prestidigitation can also clean, I just like clean it from a distance, just
Yeah,
clean the clothes again and just.
I think I catch wise to what happened when she cleans it again with the spell, and I like look back at her and I'm like, not bad.
Yeah, so you see Otto like just a
Nice.
1 kind of cubic foot on you of the jacket that is just beautifully kind of clean and pristine now.
just
Like,
one.
it makes the rest look really dirty now. You just have this like
And
glaring clean.
I look at Otto and I said, if you would like the rest of it cleaned, it will be about 150 gold per square foot.
Oh, that's it.
That's
And
it's a good service. I mean,
That's a
bit
good cleaning
pricey.
service there. All right, so hey, listen to this. Let's look at this journal together while we're.
Before you do
creeping on.
that, can you all hear? I know I've checked with the stream that they can hear the sound effects and music. Peter, you're
No.
telling me no. Can you guys? Nobody else
Okay.
here?
Nope.
I
No.
hear nothing, Jon Snow. Nothing.
Okay, that's yep. That's my bad. That's my bad. It keeps defaulting to the wrong audio channel. So let me move it over. Nope, it's not that one.
Let's see. Yes, we can look at the journal.
So,
And see
and I
what-
just want to mention that we're going down back towards Horsack's Lair, right?
No.
Which is
No,
back
we're
to-
No.
We're heading towards where.
Why do you want to go to
Horsack's
Hortsack's lair so bad?
So poor Evil can rest.
He'll be.
That's true. We are like we did save this guy, and we're like, sorry, we're headed into some stuff. You gotta
Isn't
go.
he on his like
let me just-
last legs?
Yeah, we'll get him up. Right.
Yeah, we're just like
we've been like crucified. You know,
we
found
truly are the worst rescue team. We're like, just chill there for a little bit. We got some stuff we got to do further upriver.
Yeah. Into harm's way. Don't worry about it.
Well,
Yeah,
We've got
it's
Nicole.
dangerous, but like, just chill there for a sec.
And sorry, we have no healing potion.
Yeah.
Well,
I gotta save my spells for like my actual party, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of do look over at this dude and I'm like, well, I suppose we are burdened a bit here. We'll need to make sure we have a plan in place for dealing with this guest. They don't look like they're doing very well.
Honest, especially with this music that's queuing in all of a sudden.
Yeah, can you hear it now? Is it too loud?
Yes,
Yes,
it sounded
yeah.
like it was because of what Otto said. So suddenly I'm thinking dark thoughts about our poor dwarf friend.
I've got an idea. When we land and go ahead, I'll stay back with our new friend here. And if there's any danger that needs or something that needs my attention, just call for me and I'll come rushing in like the cavalry.
But where are we going? I don't quite know. I thought we were going back to Horsack's lair, so I'm...
Horsack's bringing us to this place that we hope is the same thing we're looking for, which is one of these 5 areas that the necromancers are so interested in. We
Yeah,
hope it's the same place.
don't you remember that Lara spoke to me? Rena, I think you guys call her Lara. About some place down here.
Yes, I remember that we were supposed to go in the south and on the smallest river chamber down below, and then go to a stone, and the sword is there.
Sword? What are you talking about?
What are you talking about, dude?
We're supposed to find a very special blade.
Blade?
Oh, the blade is. We're going in the completely wrong direction for the
No,
blade.
I don't know anything about a blade.
No, we're supposed to go south of Pelkey to the smallest river, take 2 forks, stay left at both, and then there's a rock skull and entrance for the side with the chamber. I took notes on this one.
Yeah, so
Okay.
did I. So did I.
No,
Hold
no.
on, ladies, what are you talking about? Sword, blade? What do you mean? What is?
Oh, have we not told anyone about this?
Well, we got instructions. Did we not tell anybody about this? Maybe.
Maybe we forgot to tell anyone about this. Okay, everyone, pay attention.
There
And
was
we
some
lower our voices, just in case anyone's listening.
Okay.
We're like, so, my memory serves correctly. The lady that Erisette ruthlessly murdered.
She had pity murdered.
Pity murdered, which is
Pity
the
murdered.
first time I've ever heard that phrase. She told us before her untimely passing of where we could locate this incredible sword. Was it a sword?
Yes, it was a very special blade. I don't know what kind of sword. It could be a dagger, but it's a very special blade for sure.
Yes, it's worth
Probably
a lot of money.
But I think it's not just money. I think it's being sought after by multiple parties. And this woman, rest in peace.
Oh,
And
that
I
was
also
nice.
think that it
She
has
was
some
very
sort of
connected to the underworld.
its magical properties, or am I making that pot up?
No, we
I didn't
just
take
like
great
this
notes on that.
Very
So
sought
let
after,
me-
very sought after by
Right,
all
so-
parties in all of this entire realm. I think, and all of Anacrately, this sword seems to be in very high demand.
Why is it such high demand?
Yes.
So this sounds like
And
you
then-
kind of know, but don't really know what the hell you're
You
talking
guys,
about.
Erisette, you notice it right away. There is a very large blackbird, kind of like an extra large raven or crow, that was sitting on a branch as you floated under, and it kind of just looks down at you and just takes off and just goes down river and banks inside the trees and is gone.
How far away is it right now?
I mean, it's 20, 30, 40.
Okay, I immediately take out my bow and I look to give it a kill shot.
Let's go.
All right, roll
How
for an attack.
large?
Roll
go,
at disadvantage though, because you are just like turning and seeing this thing dart through the trees.
Okay.
How large is the bird?
It's like a double size of a normal crow.
At disadvantage, I'll tell you what I got. I got, with my bow, I got a disadvantage, a 25.
Damn.
Let's go,
Pleased with herself.
baby.
Roll
Love
Okay.
it.
15 and a 19, and I have a +9 on my longbow.
All right. Roll your damage for it.
25.
Roll your damage
Right.
for it. As you see, Erisette just quickly watches this, and all of you stop talking instantly. And as you're trying to figure out what's happening, she's already got an arrow knocked and just lets it fly. As you see this large bird, like, bank right between two trees, the arrow just sticks it, and you just
That's
see
an
feathers.
8 damage.
Okay.
8 damage. Is that enough?
You hear this like squawking pain as you see this black bundle drop from the sky between trees.
Okay.
And it is, at this point, it's like 30 feet downriver and on the bank to your left.
I jump out and I run after it. Go get it.
Okay.
Do an acrobatics check for me, unless you're just diving in the water again.
I don't know.
If you're trying to make the bank, give me a check.
I don't know, but I got a 16
Wow.
anyway. Even if it's acrobatics, I got a 16.
All right.
I'm just getting this prey. Like, I
Alright.
killed it, or I hope I killed it. I'm going to make sure it's dead.
Okay.
And then
Erisette, you jump up and you leap off of the side rail of this small boat, and everybody kind of rocks for a second as your weight pushes off. You land like right on the edge of the bank. You sink in a little bit, but you don't even pay attention to it, and you're just like, Wonder Woman sprinting down the side here, and you hear this noise of this bird in pain, and you see like the wings are trying to come up and flap, and it kind of takes off a little bit, then it crashes down again.
I'm sorry,
and
and
you
I
see
take my dagger and I slice its neck. Like, mercy.
as you reach down and grab its neck, its face looks, it's like a face, whatever, bird face, turns over and looks at you, and you see
Bird
these
face.
red eyes of this bird, and it's like this red smoke is coming out of the eyes, and it goes, and this red smoke comes over you. I need you to roll a Constitution check for me.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Uh-oh.
It's bird face.
I got a,
Dead gas face.
I got a 5.
Everything goes dark, Erisette, and you feel like you are falling and falling and falling. You crash down on an unseen floor, and you look about, and it's cold.
Like that dream everyone
here,
has.
and it's draining the heat out of your body through your feet into whatever you're standing on. You stand up and look around, and you see emerging from the darkness this shape made of this red smoke. It looks like a cloaked figure floating towards you. The cloak glowing with this almost this red smoke like fire, and it opens up, and all you see are these skulls in various stages of decay, and they all come at you, woman, and you just feel yourself falling back, this biting pain, and you wake up, and you are on the marsh, holding that dead bird in your hand. Its neck now cut, and your dagger, you don't remember doing it. The only thing that you can remember is that the words come unbidden out of your mouth. They're watching us.
Go splitter.
All right. I have like an all over body shiver. You know, the kind where you're just like that, but along your spinal cord and like your psyche. And
Okay.
I start to like ransack this bird to hunt over it to see if I see any beacons, or if this was like an animus of something teleporting or what. I just try to do a whole once over to see if I see any clues on it.
Roll an investigation check for me.
Have we passed Erisette, or are we?
No,
kind of
I'd say
holding-
you're still kind of coming up on her. This all happened super fast. I mean, she just sprinted
Okay.
down the bank to this bird.
Yeah. So I got a 15.
Okay. You look over the bird. You're looking for things like markings, runes, or anything. You open its eye, and it's no longer red, but it is leaking this black tar that kind of burns your finger a little bit as it touches it. Wipe it off on the marsh grass nearby. That's really the only thing that looks slightly different about this creature.
Crab White from Dublin. Sorry.
Go ahead
And you
and
can
use it.
see the arrow went right beautifully through its chest. Like it must have nicked the heart. It didn't hit the heart perfectly. That's why it didn't die instantly. But it was a good shot.
How big is it?
It is. It's about double a normal crow's size. So.
Okay, I grab it, and I come back towards the boat, and I wade right through the water. How deep is the swamp water? Can I wade through it? Just
You want to go over
Yeah.
to the boat?
yeah, I want to get it onto the boat. Show
Yeah.
them.
So you walk out into the water. It's actually where you are right now is pretty shallow.
Okay, so
It's
I
only
say-
about like 2 feet deep here.
Okay, here. And I throw it onto the boat and I climb in. That was strange.
It looks like it's leaking black tar. Are we gonna?
It's very dark.
Maybe
is
we
that?
could
What
just
is this
not
thing?
have it on the boat. I don't know.
I just wanted you to believe me. This thing
Okay, noted.
Is it leaking tar?
leaking
It's like a
somehow.
tar-like substance.
Probably.
I'm just gonna
blood.
try to I kind of dip my finger in it and look at it warily
It
and
stings. Be careful, it stings.
Yeah, it's you
I feel
feel
like
it,
maybe we shouldn't touch it. Okay, what is Snack doing?
Snack like immediately went over to sniff it and just backed away.
Okay, so
Yeah.
see everyone, that's a sign. Maybe this is
Okay.
great food. Maybe
Okay,
we
but
get
you
it off the
believe me, right?
boat.
You see it? You see this,
Yes.
right? And I throw it off into the river, into the swamp, then off the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, for your perspective, everybody else, you saw Erisette run down, pull out her dagger and grab the neck of this bird, and then she just collapsed.
So what was the strange part other than it being coated in some foul ichor?
It's listening. It was a spy. And when I went to it, its eyes were red. And then it put red smoke on me. And I was instantly in the presence of some horrible necromantic beast with decaying skulls. I truly thought I'd gone to another dimension of some sort and I was done for. And
Well, obviously these
thankfully-
necromancers are using animals to keep eyes on us.
Yes.
That means
Did you
that
hear
they'll
anything?
know we're coming.
They probably do, don't they? Whether I killed it or not.
Yes, I
Erisette.
think they will.
Did you hear anything?
Said. Or
Chance the necromancers know
clear.
we're here.
they're watching us. Didn't
So we need to figure out
Right.
how we will approach this, given that we do not have the element of surprise, more than likely.
So are we heading to find the necromancers today?
Well, I think just to remind everyone, I think there's been a couple of questions about this. We're looking for the desecrated area that the necromancers have marked on their map. So
He's right.
we're trying to find where that place would be and make sure they don't succeed in desecrating it.
So,
What time of day is it?
It's about 2 o'clock at this point, and it is. It does feel like it's starting to get dark earlier than you expected, and you can see Hortzak for a while now has been kind of looking up at the sky and purposely looking around, and I think we're really coming up on needing to find a place to set up a camp for the night. I know it's a bit early, but I think we want to
why
fortify.
I said we should go to your lair. Yes, I agree. I don't
It's-
think-
We'll lose a
if
lot
the
of ground if we go back.
If the necromancers have spotted us as we suspect, then we may need to push through and hurry.
I
with
should
Otto.
remind you, Otto, that some of us don't have night vision.
I know,
But some of us
I
do.
don't.
I know, and so that's why I may be bringing it up, because I'm thinking it might be, I don't know, really difficult to sneak up on necromancers
mind
who
you-
outnumber us.
It will also make it easier to move stealthily and be unseen.
Well, some of us don't worry about being stealthful.
Well, some of us do.
We know.
So Hortzak, where do you think we can find some place to hunker down for the night? Something that's maybe defensible or even safe, if we can even say that in these swamps.
Well, yeah, I don't know anymore, but I was planning on getting us to Hag's Hollow at least before sundown.
I'm
there's-
sorry, Hag's
Hag's
Hollow?
Hollow?
Hag's
How
Hollow.
far away?
Sounds a bit ominous.
It used to be back in the day. It's a old. There was a very powerful hag that lived there. One of those massive trees, you know, the kind you see on your way up to Asley, hundreds and hundreds of feet tall. But this one was broken off about halfway up, hollowed out, and looked like
How
it
far
was.
away?
Well, I reckon it's about another couple miles downstream. It's about
Couple hundred miles?
no, couple miles. It's about 10, somewhere between 10 and 15 miles from Pelkey, and we've gone, I think,
Well-
about 10 or so far.
How
And
far?
that will be a safe.
Sorry, one moment. How far are we roughly from the site that you think the necromancers can be found?
Well, again, I don't know exactly. This is information
estimate.
I've gotten from other people. I know that we've got to turn in at Hag's Hollow and go on ground for a while, which is why I was hoping to make camp there. It's somewhere about another day, probably half a day after we reach that spot.
Okay, so we're not going to get there today, is what I'm hearing.
And we could, but it would be late.
You think there's time to get to Hag's Hollow at least? If we
Well,
hurry?
just think about it like
Yeah,
this.
ma'am.
If we could easily get to Hag's Hollow, it's only a couple of miles away.
And I
but
jump out and I start pushing the boat to get
She
faster.
keeps leaving, jumping out of the boat as if there's nothing in the water.
so
My favorite terrain. So I am
I
extremely confident.
I continue talking like I'm
Yeah.
not surprised when she does
I'm
this.
very tall,
And I'm
so
like-
I'm just like pushing
like-
the push a car. And I'm
Obviously,
Erisat,
we'll
you
go to.
You go underwater. It's deep here. You just disappear. You can't feel the bottom. Yeah, you are shocked when you go under and come back
And
up.
so,
Oh, that's my worst fear.
obviously, we'll go to
Worst
Hag's
nightmare.
Hollow, but and unless like not even reacting to her
Right.
disappearing under the water.
Right.
But we need to
Horseback's like-
decide. We need to decide if we're going to press
I lean
on.
over and pull her up.
I'm like,
Yeah, I have still just
Horseback helps
completely
you.
not broken my sentence yet, and I'm like, as if all this were perfectly normal, and I'm like, and if we want to press on and approach the place when it's dark, or if we want to rest and give them more time, I think it's something we'll need to decide.
Well, either's fine with me. You just let me know what you
All
want to
right.
do.
To Hag's Hollow we go.
I
Hag's
say we-
Hollow.
Well,
I say we
Or-
press on past
or
Hag's
yes,
Hollow.
I'm with Otto. How about those of us who do have night vision stay at least one. In this case, it will be there's three of us. One at all times. There should be just one to stay awake with another buddy, while the others sleep.
Yes,
And that's
and
how we keep
keeping
we keep
watch.
Worst case
Yeah,
scenario.
That's how we
Wor-
keep watch.
Worst case
And we
scenario,
keep going
there's
down the river.
always this, and I snap my fingers and make the light cantrip appear, which is a cantrip I know.
Sure, and then you attract all the necromancers. But yeah, sure, well done.
I
Great
love
cantrip.
mosquitoes.
And I
I was
snuff
about to
it
say,
out.
and you instantly.
I snuff it out. I snuff it out, and I say to her, "Yes, my point is, we should use stealth to our advantage.
I agree.
If things need to be seen, then they shall be illuminated. We needed to overcomplicate matters.
thank you, Otto.
Well-
But how do we speed up this boat, Horcrux?
Horcrux.
That's a different story,
I
baby.
love this.
Okay.
Or Shack.
Harry
Speed the boat!
He's a Horcrux was the final Horcrux.
All right.
Dr. Seuss's Hort Snack. I mean,
I'm full of taking watch. Who is with?
I'm not easily offended at not knowing my name. Sometimes names for my people are difficult for
So-
fair folk.
I think the plan.
yeah.
I think the plan is get to Hag's Hollow and press on foot to see if we can get to this.
Well, we
place.
have to press on foot because he says you will have to go.
But
on
I meant
anyway.
instead
Do
of
we?
I
Or
meant
can we keep
instead of
going down the
stopping
river?
and making camp. Like
No,
we
we've got
press
to.
on.
We are getting off the river one way or another at Hag's Hollow. We're gonna drag the boat
Oh,
across
Yeah.
until we get
And
to
then
another
let's-
waterway. But we are not.
I-
we are not stopping at Hag's Hollow. Just so you know, it's not a good place.
I thought you said it was a good place.
It's where we're turning in, but it is not a good
gentlemen.
place. It's just where.
And Tabitha, she's just like, oh, okay, whatever you want to do. I'm gonna fall asleep. You guys are just droning on. Come on.
Yeah, so let's get the boat there and let's keep moving.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do it. How much time to the boat? Can we peek in that journal, or I'll just wait until we have a little downtime? It's all right. I'll wait until Ivel gets back on his feet.
Yeah, and he's just passed out right now.
right.
You see he's sleeping. You
Tyke.
so you all head down this river, and now the sun coming through the branches is few and far between. You still see all manner of beasts. You see a few Miri here and there, hiding in the kind of the reeds, and as you get close, you see them dash away. Very different than what you encountered in that camp. But there are other things that are a little more strange. You see these beautiful butterflies that look like red flame, and they kind of, doing their little flap around butterfly thing on the flowers. But as you get close, they instantly start heading over to you and kind of harassing you. It's very odd because it's not hurting you, but it's just like you can't seem to get it out of your face as it's just going from one to another. Finally, Hortzak just grabs it and dunks it in the water and lets it go, and you see it's like, comes to the surface and it's drawing off its wings and not flying at the moment. Now that's weird. I haven't seen that before.
I scoop it up and I grab it and just look at it up close.
I'm
Regular about it.
gonna drowsily open my book about beasts and see if I can see anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, there is a swamp section to your book, and you don't see like a full page on this, but you can see like some of the smaller creatures that you can encounter, and these are essentially like a butterfly. It's totally harmless. Its behavior right now, as you can see, it's trying to crawl down Dagmar's arm, trying to get towards her face again, and
I place it on the scales.
it just
kind of sit there.
starts crawling up again towards your face, and it's like trying to shake its wings, but they're wet, and
So I gently blow into just very gently blow into its wings.
Yeah, Hortzak's he just plucks it and he throws it away again. I don't mean to be rude,
Why?
but I'm getting a bad feeling about this. And
Yeah, you're saying that a lot, Hortzak.
Well, they're
that's because
spies
I've
everywhere.
never
But
seen
yeah, you've
one of those-
insisted that we've gone this way. So
We're
I'm a
going
bit
where
confused.
we're supposed to be going. I didn't say it was gonna be fun, but I mean, I didn't know what to expect. Rena just said, be careful.
All right, so what are these differences you're noticing here?
Well, we saw that vine. Never seen one that size. Never
Right.
heard of one attacking something on the water.
It's the necromancers, of course.
Yeah.
Something's corrupting down here.
Yeah,
Are you saying
it's them.
I mean, I'm getting that, but it's worrying me. Because I think we're still pretty far away, and if it's affecting things this far out,
You mean it's only going to get worse?
I think we're just on the edge of it.
Well, what if we go the opposite direction? We don't need to go where Rena told us to go. Why don't we go back to the South River and find that special blade?
oh, I like that idea.
Yes, why? Why are we just blindly following whatever the Edgeguard?
Well, he heard some rumors that the necromancers were in this area, so we thought we'd go straight to deal with them, given how terrible they are and how much we all hate them anyway.
Look, I don't want to be
Ersa.
rude, but y'all don't seem like you all have a plan. I thought you did. You seem
No,
pretty
we don't have a plan.
uniform before, but now you're disintegrating before
Well-
my eyes. So
Well,
are we
you
going
know,
to this
plan-
site, or are we doing something else?
Plans are
Well,
like
you're
to
the person
change.
who told us this doesn't look very promising.
I didn't say it didn't look promising. I said
Stupid.
we got to be careful.
Pardon us, Hortzak, but things have been very unsure as of late. So you'll excuse us if we take a little bit longer to figure out how we can actually stay safe and efficient. However, we're so thankful that you're here.
Yes,
We
there's,
really
this
are.
old, there's this old saying that no plan ever survives contact with the enemy. It's no matter how much planning we do, they are like to change once we are realizing the extent of the threats we face. The necromancers have been one step ahead of us many times. So, yes, basically, we'll have to implore you to be much more patient.
Well said, Otto. Well said.
Erised.
I'm patient. I just want to make sure you all are on equal footing here as we, look. I've been with a lot of different adventuring parties in the past, and the good ones were when we were all focused on the same thing.
Well,
yes, well, give us a moment, would you?
In order to, speaking of focusing on the same thing, Erised, remind me why this blade is so important.
Seems that this is something all the different underground sectors in Nacroli are seeking, which means that they could easily be tying into something bigger than the sum of the parts.
Well,
To me, I'm interested not just in the fact that they're necromancers, which we already know are formidable, but a solution. And if everybody's been seeking a special blade, then there must be a common thread.
well, let me say this. A couple of points, and I agree with you. One, the necromancers have already spied on us coming up this way. It would throw them off if we were to go off predicted course and backtrack. We wouldn't be walking straight into a trap. Secondly, we have no sure evidence that the site that this sword isn't also a place where the necromancers might have shown up. They have a knack for taking over all different lands of significance. And thirdly, whatever we acquire there might help us in our ultimate confrontation with the necromancers if we were to obtain this sword, for example.
So let me get this
You're
straight.
reading my mind.
Fine points, Otto. But what underground factions are you talking about? Are you talking about the Thieves Guilds? 2, didn't Tabby get sold a bill of goods with that dagger she bought off of that? So how do you know that this information is legitimate? I mean, you did kind of take this woman out. So how do you know she's not playing you? Why are you taking a thief's word at face value here, Araceli?
She wanted to leave her life of crime. She was hoping to come clean. She didn't have any more invested plays other than trying to anonymously escape her chosen path, which I knew would be impossible, which is why I killed her, because I didn't want word getting out about us.
So, all that to say, what do you all think we should do now? Do we make our way toward the location of this sword? Or do we continue on in search of the rumored location of the necromancers? I'm agreeing with
I do want to
Erised.
offer a bit more information about this, and I hope. Look, if you're just tuning in, we have issues sometimes with my note taking. So there's a chance that what I'm about to say is completely inaccurate, but this is what I found.
Nice
Nevertheless.
disclaimer.
Nevertheless,
Love it.
let's hear what you got.
The information you're hearing now may not be accurate to the campaign.
It could be unrelated information.
Hear it at your own discretion.
Okay, so I found my notes, you guys. Okay, so and it's like Tabitha rips off like a scribbled piece of paper, and she's like,
These
okay.
notes are in no way canon.
Yeah.
So this, it's a rapier.
It could be.
This blade is a rapier, and it is from a necroly pre-departing, specifically from the Wither Age,
Yes, yes.
and it is a deity weapon,
Yes.
and
Deity weapon.
between worth 10,000 and 20,000 gold.
Yes, 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 yes.
I'm sure
This
she
is
has it
direct
underlined.
information.
Am I hearing that this is a?
Well done.
Am I hearing that this is a vote toward going?
Information right there.
Am I
this is-
right in deducing that you're voting we go and make backtrack toward the sword in hopes that we also throw the necromancers off?
Yes, and I just feel like this old weapon might have some magical powers which might help us.
That's what I just
as a-
said. Yes.
Yes.
That's
okay,
the point
yeah.
I was
Do you
making
know which
earlier.
Do you know which deity, Tabby?
One of the departed ones.
What do I say? Seville and Dagmar, I think we already did this, but go ahead and roll a history check for that
Also, as I
information.
roll this history check,
Yeah.
could I also roll an investigation check? Because I would like to say that as we're doing all of this, I am still looking around for herbs, any new herbs that I can add to my collection.
Yeah, you can do that. Or perception if you
Sure.
want to kind of,
A perception.
yeah, since you're really just kind of
Okay.
looking.
History and perception. Cool.
I'll let you
All right,
do either.
history 17.
So, Seville, this is kind of like remembering, your grade school history, and you remember the Wither Age. That is like eons ago. I mean, this is ancient Anacrolean history. This is pre-Kingdom. There were fights of the gods in those days. There was all kinds of history that's a lot of it is not coming back to you, but you remember hearing of the Wither Age and remember studying
And
it.
don't
I'm
you
imagining
see?
like opening scenes of Lord of the Rings.
Don't you see?
totally.
We must find this. The history is not known here. They censor the history from their people. If we were to recover something of historical significance, we could start to slowly right this wrong and let the people of these lands know a bit about their history.
Okay, yes, it sounds like you're on board.
That is
Yes.
that which is hidden is always powerful, and we know that the five of us cannot handle these necromancers alone. This we know, even
And
with
because
court sack.
I want to make sure I'm included in that because I came along to help.
Yes, but you are at our command, I suspect.
I don't know if that's actually accurate. I'm here to help.
Oh, was there a misunderstanding? Oh,
So, hold on.
you're the guide. You're the guide. We're the
I'm the ad hoc adventuring fellow that's come with you.
All right. Well,
Very grateful.
we've made a decision about where we're going.
No, we have not made a decision because I'm not on board with these two collecting information from some thief that already swindled Tabitha for a dagger she paid what? You said 100 gold for? And then she's selling a god weapon?
But what about
For
what?
How
Seville?
much did you pay for this?
What about? Let's just say the information. Maybe it's not 100% accurate. Throw that aside for a moment. The idea is that we're also trying to get out of the view of the necromancer's magical attempts to spy on us, and we very well may likely find something useful there to help us defeat them when we confront them. Those points, of course, are not contingent on the trustworthiness of the thief.
However, I have two questions. If we are to go to find the blade, how do we know that others will not be there looking for it as well, and we might be walking into an open battle?
Well,
This is a very good question.
we know how to handle a battle.
Yeah.
Well, but we're so tired from battling that it might help to actually gather our strength. And two,
Well, if I'm not mistaken, aren't we all at 100% health capacity right now?
actually, you are right.
I mean,
We're
I'm
pretty
fine.
recovered.
I think most of
how
us
was
are
Erised?
fine.
You know,
How is Erised doing?
I'm lowish. Lowish.
You're lowish.
All right, well, just hang back a little
is,
bit.
what if we get closer to the necromancers and, as a wonderful character once said, I'm currently metagaming, the closer we are to danger, the farther we are from harm. Is there a way that we might pass unnoticed or barely even felt by the necromancers, and we might do more damage there in the core than going back, getting this blade that is sought after everyone, the beaten path, or just go rogue?
Well, keep in mind, the necromancers they've likely seen that we're coming, so any
We
advantage
know
we
they've
could-
seen us coming. We
Well-
they have birds flying on us and
any advantage we could
butterflies.
bring into the situation would probably
That
be
is true.
welcome. But look, let's put it up to a vote. I mean, we've talked about it at length. I say we go back and find this sword, but I'm happy to do with the majority.
And just in case it sways anybody's vote, we're basically here. And he points downriver, and you can see that the dense trees kind of start to start spreading out a bit, and there is a larger kind of open, cleared area, and the trunk of a massive, like maybe 80, 100 feet wide tree It only goes up about 60 feet and looks like it has just been broken off there, and it is blackened and dark, and you can see elements of a house that was made into this tree. Places where there are doors and windows, but it's just torched, and the ground near it looks to be this kind of grayish, dead grass in a radius around the tree.
Tabby, to go off your point, you were absolutely right about us being followed by crows and ravens and birds and butterflies. What if they follow us to the blade? What is more risky?
At least they'll be following us and we won't be walking into a trap, and we may have found something that would help us confront them, you see.
Well, great. So why don't we check this place out, and then we'll go and carefully check out and see if they've been hoodwinked or they've come on to something.
Well,
great.
do we think this is where the necromancers are based?
No. This
It's
is,
further away. We're just
This
No,
is-
I meant... Sorry, let me clarify. Do we mean where we are now?
This is a Hag's Hollow. I mean, this is basically just a landmark. I mean,
I'm thinking we want to find our way potentially back to the sword, no?
Yes.
Hold on.
Well, all those in
Could we
favor of
make
finding the
camp
sword.
here tonight, Hortzak? Could we just make camp here?
I wouldn't make camp close to the hollow, but we can find
You
a
said-
place nearby that's a
You
little
said
bit safer.
earlier this place was not good, I remember.
It's got a dark feel of it to me, and everybody I know this land won't go near.
I have an idea. Why
Let's
don't
not
we let
hang
our
here.
guide us
Yeah, we're gonna go
to a
around
safe
it.
place to camp?
If we were gonna go on, I would all of us pull the boat out of the river, drag it across. We'll pass the hollow, and we'll go in a bit deeper until we find a nice place to set up camp. There's dry ground that way, so there should be a couple
Tabby.
good places.
One more question. Speaking of setting up camp, you're very familiar with the swamps.
Yes,
Are
of
there
course.
any accommodations that we can make that are elevated above ground into the trees? I think I've seen those
Oh.
before. I remember seeing them when I was a kid and when I was here.
Yeah, of course.
Can we? Can you teach us how? Maybe we can that way be safe at least.
Oh yes,
mean-
I definitely know how to make an elevated camp. Right, Joe? Don't I?
I mean, yeah, you know it's possible if you find the right sort of branches and something that can either you have enough rope or you find reeds that can double as latching material.
I have some
So
rope.
I like
Well,
quickly make like a little sketch on like the back of the scrap that had the notes that the lady gave me, and I'm like, so if we just kind of do like
So
this,
we could make that anywhere. We need.
Yeah, that would work. I will say I think there's enough dry ground in there. You wouldn't have to do that, but if we find a spot that's a bit wet, we
dry
could-
is one thing,
So-
dangerous another.
So let's just be clear. Where have we decided where we're going and what we're doing?
no.
All right, let's do that. Yeah.
Okay, all those
I'll
in
go with the
favor of
majority.
finding the magical special rapier, raise your hand.
Yes. All right.
Sure, yes. I don't pretend to know
All
what's
right.
best
Off
in this situation. Yes.
Let's not waste any more time then. Off we go.
Wait, why can't we do this
Explains.
afterwards? We're wasting some time to shut down this site.
The only thing I will add, just remind you that the information I have about these hooded people down here was from a month ago. So
Yeah, it's not right now.
they've been here. I don't know if they're still here, but they've been here before.
Well, we appreciate that, but I think
Here's another thing.
we want to go and check out this place.
Hortzak, tell him where this place is. You
Yeah,
think
give
it
me
is. If
let
he
me
knows
let me
it.
know. Do you have a map or information?
Tell him
Yes, I have map on
I have
parchment.
a map, and I pull out
Yes,
the map
you
I
have it.
pilfered from his lair. And
Oh, a guide normally has their own map.
No, that's my map. That's my map. Well, I don't carry around
Sit.
treasure
Your
maps.
map. Your
So we do
idea.
have a treasure
Yours
map
is-
that we show.
Yeah.
Show him that.
So yeah, Tabitha, you pull it, or whoever has it pulls it out, and let me take a look at that. It's Pelkey. Yep. All right. I mean, I think I know this rock. Yeah. I mean, I know that area. I'm sure I've seen that rock. That is all the way back at the start, basically.
Great.
So
Here's my question.
Well,
Here's
again,
my
it
question.
didn't take us that long, though,
Wait,
and
wait.
we could throw off the necros.
What if we just
They're even here.
rest here? They won't expect it.
Here is explicitly not safe, so we're not going to
Yes,
rest here.
let's
Well, we can
backtrack a bit.
We can rest nearby or go back upstream or downstream and find a safer
Yeah,
place, but just not within
Let's go
the
back
grounds
upstream
of-
and find a safe place, and
Let's-
then we can discuss more.
Let's
when we're back in
backtrack.
here.
Let's backtrack and push it a bit. I think we're all fine, and then we'll be a bit closer to where we
Wait, what?
I believe we've voted to go.
Who voted on this? Who's the yays?
us.
All of you except for me.
I'm a yay.
I thought we were in this to shut these sites down. What do we
Yes,
do?
we've already talked about at length
All
how
right,
this
all
could
right.
be a step toward that.
I'm turning the boat around. What we're gonna do is find a place to camp, and you all can argue about it all night long.
No, there's no argument. We voted.
But to Seville's point,
can't do this
I
by
do
myself.
agree
Please be
that we've
turning
gotten,
around while we're.
Oh yeah, Hortzak's on it.
Sure, and I'm saying to Seville's point, I do agree that we've gotten this far. For what? Is there something we can divulge from this situation, from where we are, to take back as knowledge when we go to the Blade? Is there something we can gain?
Maybe,
from it?
but I mean, we can
What's that?
always.
Where's this site? How far away is it from here to the site?
I'm not sure he knows. We'd asked that earlier.
You don't know hours.
He doesn't know where the site is, right?
I mean, I'm
Because it
going
was
on
rumors.
on the information I have, and I think it's
Yeah.
about another half day or so once we push into the land here.
All right. Well, I can't do it myself. So whatever you lot want.
And
to
just
do.
think. We'll move. If we were to, after the necromancer spotted us before she killed the large bird that was spying on us, if we were to rest near there, if they were to say send a group dispatch to the last place they saw us, if we rest, that would be bad, right? But if we were to backtrack, I don't think they would necessarily see that coming. So we're not just doing something that is, it's based on also throwing the necromancers off our course. You see?
And that means we should be very quiet as we backtrack.
Yes, yes.
I love
It's
this
almost
guy.
like maybe it would help if we could pass without trace.
Does that work? In
We'd be invisible. This time I'm just kidding. I actually
make the
know
boat
now.
invisible just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
I hope this dude
Engage
has
the
like
cloaking device.
camoed up the boat with like you know.
Leaves. We're under
it
the
looks-
leaves talking.
Okay, so actually that's brilliant. I do go ahead and I cast my pass without trace, so that we're able to backtrack.
Hell yeah.
And but right before I do, I say, "Oh, Seville, you're right. We should absolutely do as you say. You're always right about everything. Come on, everybody. I changed my vote so that they think that we're going in that direction, and all the spies listen. And then I
Wow, we are so incredibly smart. They will never know that. That's amazing.
And in the interest of time, I'm going to say
Just push
Hortzak
back.
does backtrack about 100
Great.
feet back up the river. He turns the boat around. He sees a bit of solid ground and quietly pushes over and says, "I'll be right back." And he jumps off and takes out his big axe and kind of walks into the brush there for a bit. After about 5 minutes, he comes back. "Yep, there's a good spot in here. Let's pull the boat off the river."
And while Hortzak was doing that,
Okay.
and we've been very quiet, I actually have sidled up to Seville and I squeezed his hand and I said, "To be honest, I'm very thankful. I was very scared of what I saw and I wasn't ready to face them yet. But thank you."
For going after the sword?
No,
You guys better
I'm
be
not
right.
going right into those necromancers. What I saw when I killed that bird was very terrifying and I'm not ready yet. So thank you.
Well, yes, I understand that.
All right, and so with a heave, you all pull the boat. And again, this is like mostly a flat bottom boat, and so it's not that hard to pull across. He's got rope, and he's a big crocodile. So he just kind of shoulders over the rope and he starts pulling
He's
it
a
in.
crocodile?
He's a crocodile, dude.
What?
Yeah.
This is the first I'm hearing of this.
Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah, he's a
Oh, that's
crocodile.
right.
I only have him
Yeah.
half painted, but
a croc dude.
that's him with his big
Dope.
ass.
He's super dope.
He's so cool. I love that movie.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's a crocodile. Should have mentioned that.
But you know, the thing is, when he first told us, You didn't like literally say he was
All right, as we go along, I'm peeing off the boat.
crocodile-esque, and it was only later after you showed me the mini that I realized he's literally
A crocodile.
He's a
crocodile.
crocodile person. Yeah, he's a crocodile
Yeah.
human. Yeah,
super cool.
yeah. All right,
all
so
right.
yeah, and he takes you in, and you find a bit of dry ground, and it's nice. He found this spot that it's not terribly big. He pulls the boat kind of to the edge of this small clearing, and it's like about 12, 15 feet, little opening here, surrounded by trees and bushes, and he starts picking up some fallen logs that are in the way, and he's kind of like starts to throw it, and then kind of remembers you're trying to be stealthy, and like kind of lays it down and just starts clearing out this area for you. And
Okay, and then while he's doing that, I want to like scout a spot up in the trees that maybe with like a big boost, Dagmar and I can work on building one of the tree structures, and I'll tell her, okay, so this is where someone can make the watch. That can watch over us.
Yeah, good idea.
Amazing.
So roll
Thank you,
an
Tabby.
roll an
It's
investigation
amazing to
check.
learn from your roots and history.
Oh, well,
I feel like I'm
no
learning a little
problem.
more about you.
Well, thank you.
Maddie,
Okay, Judd, what were you saying?
roll an investigation check for me as you're searching.
Okay, we're starting with
And
a 6. Go ahead.
my investigation or perception was 19.
Okay.
From
oh yeah, from before.
going around, on the river, on the ground, whatever I found.
You definitely find a few more of those blossoms. I'm gonna say you find exactly. Use my skull splitter dice here. You find 4 actually. Skull splitter. Wah, rainbow dice. And Maddie, what'd you get?
I got an 11, but I was wondering, is there any way I could roll at advantage because this is like my native kind of place to be?
No, but I'll tell you, it doesn't matter because it was very low DC because I lowered it because you are very familiar with this. So you basically just had to get over an 8. So yeah, you look and he's chosen a great spot actually because the tree above has a nice like 2 branches that go out that you can put branches in between and make like a little elevated platform literally right over your camp. And so with that roll, you also see that there's plenty of wood nearby. You go over with your dagger, you stick it in the wood to see how fresh it is or if it's rotted, and you start like gathering pieces, and there's plenty for you to make it if you want to do it.
Amazing. Yes, I do want to.
Okay, cool. So I'll say you and Dagmara start doing that as you're kind of teaching her how to do it and showing her how to tie and lash boards together, and start making this cool little lookout platform above camp.
Yeah.
Look at that.
What
Could just
time
live here.
of night is it by this point, Judd?
I'd say at this point we're looking at like it's probably about 3:30, 4 o'clock. I mean, you've been going down the river for a couple hours. It is starting to the sun is starting to set.
I feel a bit nervous. We're resting pretty close to where they last saw us, but what I'm gonna do is, if we are for sure camping here, I'm gonna go and, using the new spell that I learned, Glyph of Warding, I want to put magical, basically protection wards. I have 2 spell slots I could do, so I'll basically do 2 wards on either side of our camp area. Or one side's against the water, right? Or near it?
It's near it. It's like you probably went in about like almost 20 feet from the bank.
So then I'll let the water be like one barrier, and then I'll put 2 wards kind of like spaced out. It looks like the common areas one would approach.
Awesome. Okay.
From here, and basically charge them to be explosive runes. So I warn the party. I'm like, no one go off this way. These are traps for anyone who would be foolish enough to try and ambush us. And
Great.
So yeah, I'm gonna use my 3rd level spell slots
Is
doing
it
that.
where they get into a perimeter
Nice.
of these glyphs, then it goes off, or?
Yeah, that's
tripwire?
correct.
Okay, cool.
It says You put it on a surface. You decide what triggers the glyph when you cast the spell. For glyphs inscribed on a surface, the most typical trigger includes touching or standing on the glyph, removing an object from the glyph. So yeah, I'm just gonna say anybody who gets within, I'll make them have like a radius if I can, basically being within, say, 10 feet of them. And so when I space them apart, I'll try to like basically cover the area that would approach our camp.
Cool. All right. And you see Hortzak gets down in the middle of the camp and he starts digging this pit, and then a smaller kind of like a smaller pit next to it, and he's like, anybody want to learn how to make a smokeless fire? This is a great trick I've learned. Get a nice warm fire, but it won't make any smoke for anybody to detect our position.
Ooh.
And,
wow.
Starts demonstrating how he puts digs under the ground to connect the two little pits together, so one feeds it air, and you see that after about 10 minutes he's got it dug out, and he starts adding fuel to it that he's found, and he gets a fire going, and indeed it's like the heat's coming off, and you see like the kind of the heat mirage, but there's no smoke. Not magic, but it works.
You can learn. It's astounding you've survived for so long in this terrain.
Well,
very impressive.
Kind of made for it.
So I assume that I'm done making my little platform.
Yeah, we'll
and
say.
I imagine that I'm sitting in front of the fire, and I'm very enchanted by this fire and how he pulled it off and it's not making any smoke, and so I'm just a little fixated on that.
Cool.
We'll say.
Nice.
I'm going to get my bedroll out. We're not all in the trees. We don't have enough time or resources to build
No, I
five or
think she
six
made like a
platforms.
platform up there.
Made one. It could fit like
I'll be on the ground.
two maybe people on it.
All right,
Keep watch with you, Seville.
I'll be on the ground. Yeah,
Should we
what's
make
on
more?
schedules, and then we can.
Should we make more so we can all be safe up in the trees? I'm thinking,
I was
I don't
thinking it
think
would be
that's
like
necessary.
like a lookout.
one person keeping watch up there, looking over.
Yeah,
Sure.
preferably with a a bow, crossbow, tabby, something
Right.
like covers above.
I'll see.
And then once we get our rest, we can head out in the middle of the night and get there sooner.
Ooh, I like that. Great idea.
Tabitha, you notice that Snack is kind of just did this stretch, nice cat stretch, and looks like she is about to pounce and go off into the swamp to go hunt, maybe.
Okay, and I just want to connect with her, and I'm just saying like, all right, you be safe out there.
Okay.
And I'll have Ivo with me and see if he wakes up. I'm going to go over this journal.
And I know Otto just stepped away, but I think Otto might. Otto's back. Let me see if
He's
he wants
back,
to.
baby.
If he wants to add anything to that before we go to Ebel, and then we're actually about to break as well, everybody. But Chad, I was just saying to Tabitha that Snack is about to kind of bound out into the swamp to maybe go off and do some evening hunt.
Right on.
Okay. All right.
Well, I'm. If we're gonna break, then I'll hold it until we come back from the break. But I definitely have something I need to do. But I can wait until after the break.
Okay. And,
Well, I can just
and-
imagine that I just get ready with Tabby just up
Wait,
there.
no. Snack! And I run after real quick, and I call, come here. And I go right to the mind. Halt, stay, heal, now.
Oh, great.
And I'm just like, relax. Let me see. What's the
go-
problem?
Quickly, right after him. Heal, halt.
Yeah,
Something in his mind.
Like
now.
I almost like drop
And
from the tree.
you all jump as Seville starts
Yeah,
screaming, and
I'm climbing on the tree and I almost drop because I'm like, what happened?
yeah,
Well, you said into the swamp, right? The
Yeah.
water. That's not toward the runes.
yeah. That's what I was trying to get at. Like, it's
Oh,
going
but
to
the
head.
runes,
I thought you
remember,
surrounded the whole
the
thing.
runes were around the camp, not in the water.
Well, no,
So
it's not in the water. I mean, it's in camp with you. It's just gonna leap out of camp and go kind of north of you.
Toward the runes?
I don't. Where are the runes again?
Yeah, he's not going in the water to hunt. He's going
Yeah.
out.
Okay.
He's going-
So
Is that going fishing?
the way I did describe it was basically the
I know
water.
there's one by the water. Where's the other
There's
one?
none by the water.
Oh, there
there's
aren't.
none because the
water is the barrier.
was a natural barrier, and so I spaced them out on the land
Okay,
kind
well,
of
this is
flank-
side of the. I
is-
thought I had said that.
All right.
this is the land side that Snack is. She's going.
Yeah, so I thought you meant Snack was not going toward the runes. Obviously, if I see Snack running toward
Okay.
the runes, I will try to stop him. But
Well, I just did, so he's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll say she.
And just
yeah.
it's a
She's fine.
lady.
or, sorry, her.
Yeah, okay. I'll say that you guys managed to catch her right as she's just about to kind of leap out to go. And you're like Tabitha grabbing her new frost giant skin collar. And it's like, you know, and going into her mind and kind of giving her the danger. Don't leave.
I'm like this and this. Don't be around there. You can
And I'm
only
just
go
like,
over here.
you might want to put the beast on a leash.
Okay, no, we've tried that, and Snack, she does not prefer to be leashed. All right.
All right.
All right.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go get some food for us. And he puts his big axe down on the ground and he pulls out a smaller dagger. I'll go to the
Just
river
lo-
so I don't hit your.
Yes,
Your
mind
magic.
the runes.
Yeah, no problem. Let me see if I can find something tasty. You all work out your shit. I'll be back. And you watch him go over kind of through the reeds and he just dives in that kind of like silent crocodile, you know, go right and just glides under the water and and disappears. And as we all come back to you and you all kind of eye each other like, here we go, let's hash this out. We're gonna take a quick break. So thank you everybody for hanging with us. We'll be back in a quick 10 minutes as we replenish our drinks. Go to the bathroom and all
Buddy,
that
see
good.
you in 10 minutes.
Yes.
Ta-ta.
9 is
See-
10.
See you in 10, everybody. All right. Hello everyone. And we're waiting for
Hey,
two of our
guys.
other players, but I saw we had a big raid come in. I wanted to thank you and welcome everybody and let you know that we were just about to come back and I didn't miss anybody. As we're waiting for these two people.
Yeah, I love the raid.
Yes. Raid. The
So
raid.
Tabitha, on to the bathroom and
and look, we've got everybody. Lovely.
Hello.
Okay.
When last we left Harry.
all right. So we just went pee in the wood in the swamp, and we're back.
Yeah, so
That's correct.
let's just jump right back in. I'm gonna tell you, just to remind you that Hordsack just leapt off into the water to go catch some dinner for y'all, and it is getting dark rather quickly. You know, you've got this fire set up, and you've got Tabitha. You managed to build your little lookout station. What do you all want to do?
I'm gonna look over that. I'm gonna look at Ibel and look over this journal I have.
Okay. And I'm going to go to Otto, and I'm going to say, Otto, I've been meaning to do this for a long time, but take a look at my bow. There's this corner of it that seems really, I don't know, it's almost like peel off or something, but I just use it all the time, and I'm not sure if this matters. And most of the time we're in the middle of a battle, but could you take a look at this? And I just sort of hand it over to see what he thinks, and is he able to figure anything out about it?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll give it a look over. I'll identify it in a matter of 10 minutes.
All right.
All right.
Thanks.
While I try to go find that information really quickly, Seville, you're looking at Ebel, and you can see he is still just asleep. Hortzak carried him from the boat and put him down here, kind of in a sleeping, I don't know, sleeping roll, bedroll. Couldn't think of the term.
Fetal
And
position.
he is
What?
still out.
All right. Well, I'll give him a little taste of the juice.
Wakey, wakey.
Give him a little wakey juice.
What are you giving him?
I'm gonna give him a little. Can I give a little slight pour of a healing potion? Or are we talking?
Look at this guy trying to siphon off healing potions.
I will let you do half.
Look, we might need those.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll let
we're
you do
at
half
low
of it.
capacity. Half? That's fine. That's a good one.
Okay.
And I see what he's doing. So as he's doing it, I go and I take his little but very squat feet and I start to give him a foot massage. And I'm like, really?
What, dude?
Well,
Really?
welcome.
What, dude?
Giving them, but I'm like,
Welcome to the role players.
Yeah.
You know, the way you try and you're like,
We got through a whole half of a session before it got
like
footish.
pulling the
And
toes
actually,
apart.
you know what? Hold on a sec. Let me roll because I want to see. Oh yeah. So, Ariset, you start pulling his boot off,
Yeah,
and his eyes like snap open, and he's like, no, what are you
No,
what's-
shit, let me
what are you
go.
doing?
It feels good. It feels good. Trust
no,
me.
no, what's wrong with you people?
I don't like it.
Ariset, hey, I'm trying to get information out of this man here.
No, I'm trying to help you.
disturbing.
Relax him. I mean, we don't want to waste potions on him, but this might help him feel better.
Don't.
What?
No,
Like,
just I prefer consent.
Tabitha just walks away.
Don't. Can you move away? Thank you from my feet. So I don't know if I've been
I'm
rescued
sorry.
or
I just-
abducted.
No, you've. Ivo, this is.
No,
this-
no, I don't
was
just
the one who
I
pulled you out of
put
that.
his boot back, and I say, "Let me know if you change your mind."
I'm not gonna change my mind.
This dude just woke up from being passed out, and some person he doesn't know is just like rub-a-dubbing on those toes, dude.
Yeah, you can see he
At least
actually
he is a
reached.
babe.
He reached for his weapon, but he's so weak, like he kind of gave up on it, and he just realized, like, as all of you heavily armed and armored people standing over him, he's got no choice. So he just kind of goes limp, but he's not letting you take his boot off. And even
And I'm
as
just
you
kind of like,
and as you pull that boot, you can see like where his ankles were strapped to the trees with the rope. I mean, it's just like the rope was in his skin. Like they had pulled it so tight, he is just messed up.
Yeah.
You'll have to forgive us. We're not off. I look up as I'm examining her bow. We're not experienced in the art of rescue, so please bear with us.
No, I meant to nicely. If it
It's
helps.
fine. No worries. Just let me show him the journal and go about your comp stuff, and I'll tell you what I find out.
Okay.
Thank you, Ariset. Thank you.
Okay.
Ivo, my name's Seville Ranta. I'm Edgeguard. I was the one who pulled you out of there. Me and my friends here. Tell me about this. You're meeting someone. His name.
Yeah, Belir.
Who's your
I think-
contact? Alir.
Belir.
Right.
We already.
Yeah.
Are
Well, he gave me
these?
this.
Oh, you wait. Hold on. And he tries to like prop himself up against the log, and he is,
I'll give him some. I'll give him some water.
You got anything stronger?
Hi, we have some wine. Let me go find it. I'll go and dig it out of.
Or ale? I guess we
Autumn's
don't have any
back.
ale. Dream.
I look back and I'm like, nope, not unless you're making something out of this fermented swamp.
I don't think so. But are these people all with the kingdom?
Yeah, you could say that. Sure.
Well, I need to know.
They're
if I
with
can-
me and I'm with the kingdom. They're
That's a bit-
have been brought along, inducted into, let's
Nebulous,
just
but-
say, some adjacent edge work.
All right. Well. Yes. You told me already about Belir. I was supposed to meet Belir when we got attacked, and the whole timeline was thrown off a bit. Were you sent with Belir? How do you know?
No, like I said, I'm from the Edgeguard, and I've been on mission. All of us have, from Lupnor to Vorden to Asley, and now we're here, chasing something. And as we were going to where we were going, we came upon your contact, and they were quite, well, under stress and beleaguered, and we saved them like we did you. And now we're connecting some dots here. And just wanting some information, if you don't mind.
Oh, and I can give you what I can give you. I'm, as an edge, I can tell you some of what I'm doing here. My mission for the archive was to be east. I was to go over the Ebereth Mountains looking for. Well, I don't think it's a secret. There's supposed to be some Queendom over there. Some legendary queen of a hidden society of something that's out in the forest over there, but nobody's ever been able to find anything, and so they tasked me to go see what I could find and see if it made it through the departing.
What did you find?
What I found, I cannot say, but I will say that. What was your name?
My name's Seville Ranta.
I imagine
I'll flash my psychic test too, but I'm not going to call.
You've already been
Larar,
into his head. You can see, he believes you. But it was, I think the information that I got on my way over here might be more pressing. It was when we were in Barakaj, when I made it out of the mountains, I heard some things. It's what I do. It's my job. I ask around. And I heard there was some strange things happening in the swamp.
That's correct.
Well, and clearly, I've been through these swamps. Not a lot, but I've been through enough to know that what I encountered here with the Miri is not usual. And with that troll and with the hooded figure of follower of Fornuge.
Correct.
Yeah.
Those are the ones we've been looking for.
That's exactly why we're here.
Word has reached Barakaj that the swamp is not to be traveled lightly now. I had a book, but I've lost it. That was for my mission. It wouldn't do anybody any good. It's in code. But
we'll keep an eye out for it.
It seems like you've traveled a lot, sir, and if I may ask one more question, I know you're exhausted, but you speak of Fornuge, you speak about the Grim of this land. Have you heard anything about any of the other gods, by chance? The departed gods?
The gods? No, I mean, the Edeline forest where I went, the queen there is supposed to be descended from a god or something. That's but legend, fable, I don't know. These are what everybody has said since time immemorial, but...
Where is the location of this Queendom?
Well, it's over the mountains, east of here. Which, they used to be basically impassable, but the departing has created a few new ways in to the south.
Which god did she come from, do you know?
No.
Why can't you tell us what you saw? We just saved your life. We've offered you foot rubs. You're half dead. You're lucky we've even kept you alive. We could have thrown you overboard in the swamp. Why
Wait,
can't you just
Please be nice to him.
Hold on. My
We're
good
trying to
friend
be
Ibel.
quiet, remember?
Ibel, no one's putting your life in jeopardy, and we don't need. If you want to offer us information, you can. You're not under any threat, my man.
Well,
You're
even
not
if even if I
You don't
were,
have any reason for mistrusting us. We're out here. You
it's
don't know
not.
who we are.
It's
We have come from
foot
far
person,
away to
foot person.
right wrongs.
Please let him. Please just be nice to him. He
Yeah,
almost died,
it's not-
just for a little while. Just
yeah.
sort of-
I roll up another one of those blossoms. I'm like, here's it. Here's it. It's gonna. It will calm me down.
Look,
Yes?
I can tell you this, that I'm under orders from King Dolian himself to find out what was over those mountains and if there's anything there. And I've been told to not even report that to the archivists. I'm supposed to hand over my notes, and they're supposed to go to the king. He has the cipher. But
So you
Lost these notes.
I have lost the notes, and I've got a lot of it in my mind. I can recreate a lot of it. Here's what I can do for you. And he pulls
Were
out.
they in the boat
He
that
pulls
had
out a
crashed?
little roll of parchment, and he hands it over to you, Seville. And you unroll it, and you see a little map, little hand-drawn map, a very large area marked with swamp. You see Barricage on the western side of it, and you see these hand-drawn icons for mountains, a few rivers that he's put in there, and you can see this large circle on the inside of these mountains. It looked like the mountains probably make almost a ring, but the map, it's not a very big map, and the forest is labeled the Edeline Forest, and there is a route that shows how to get over the mountains. I don't feel it's against my orders to give you this as part of the edge guard. That's the edge. That will get you over the mountains if you want to check it yourself. But look, I'll tell you. And he slowly starts to unbutton his shirt, and he opens up, and you see as he pulls it apart that he has these deep scars that go across his chest, and they are like barely healed, kind of semi-transparent. There are parts where you can see his blood pushing through, pulsing underneath the skin.
Oh.
What I saw, I barely got out of that place, and these wounds, these were with the healing potions that I had on me, my best ones, and they are not permanently healed. There are dangers that way, so be warned. I'll tell you just this. The river leads to water. It'll tell you its secrets, but in a deadly tongue. And that's all I can tell you, even as an edge guard.
This river or the one?
And you look on the map, and he leans over, and you see that there is one river that looks like it descends out of the mountains. And I'll provide this map. I didn't.
Okay.
Hold on, I might be able to show you a quick.
And you're saying you last saw the necromancers there, and they did this to you. And
This
I,
is kind of the
gestured
handout that
down
you
to
will get. It's kind of something like this. So
Nice.
Are we in relation to this map?
you're
right
in
now?
the like dark shaded area of the swamp.
Okay.
Got it.
But I will hand that out. I will make that so you guys can see it.
When he mentions the wounds that have not permanently healed, I would like to kind of start shuffling in my scrolls and try to find a recipe for anything that could heal such a wound.
I
See
love
if I can
that.
find something.
Yeah, do an investigation check for me.
Well, I'm gonna say to him, you're obviously thrown off of your mission. What do you intend to do now?
Probably make my way back to Mosul, and then back to Asley.
Well, you could, but you'd be braving the swamps alone.
Oh, that's my job.
Well, some
used to
jobs
that.
will end up getting you killed.
Wow.
You know, you may consider stay with us. We are making our way to a location, and if you were to join us, perhaps we could all together then go and complete your mission across the mountains.
What's
I got a 12, by the way.
12. Okay. What is and he's struggling a little bit. What are you doing? If I can ask.
Likely heading into some danger.
I gathered
In search
that.
of something
We're trying to
valuable.
deal with the necromancers, and there's some things that
The elephant in the
we
room.
may need to do before that.
Yes, we may need to make sure their prying eyes aren't anticipating our every movement. But yes, we are venturing to find something useful that may prove helpful in combating them.
Well,
Let me ask you, you're an archivist, correct?
well, I'm a gatherer.
So,
I
well,
work for
we
the
all-
archive.
Right, so you have access to information. Do you know anything about the withering?
The
Oh,
wither.
the Wither
The
Age.
wither age.
The wither age.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean,
Well, let me
Some.
put it to you bluntly. Do you know of any weapon,
some.
let's just say one that could strike some fear into some gods?
Well,
You ever hear of something like that?
it's an unusual question. From what I remember, the Wither Age was a war of gods. The gods used all sorts of weapons against each other and armed some important mortals to fight on their behalf. There are supposed weapons. I think they were weapons or information. There were things that were left behind that have been
Yes.
So
part of legend and
Right.
you know,
And so I'm like silently behind
wishful
him, like,
fantasies.
"Me?"
So, in your best academic guess, do you think that such a weapon could still be in an acrolead, perhaps buried, perhaps lost over time?
Oh, do I think it's possible?
Sure. In your best academic guess.
Absolutely. I've seen
Right then.
all manner of things hidden for
Yes.
many ages of this world.
And as you may know, the necromancers that we wish to defeat, they have shown an affinity for wanting to find powerful relics and use them for their own gains. By getting to this weapon, if it does exist, we owe it to ourselves to recover it, not just for our own use, but to make sure we keep it out of the necromancer's hands.
Well, I'm definitely interested, but cautiously. I have followed quite a few fictitious leads in my time. I think I'd need a little bit more information before I could commit to such a thing. Otherwise, I gotta make my way, per my orders, to
Well, you and
Mosul.
I are in the same boat, my friend.
Well,
Do whatever it is you have to do. I just wanted to offer you some companionship. These swamps don't seem like the sort of thing anyone, especially in your state, should endure alone.
well, I don't fancy it, I'll tell you, but that is my job. That's what I've trained for. I'm comfortable out alone in the wilderness. That's where I do my work. But
Well,
Suit
let's
yourself.
just say that what we all used to know of how the world was is now a thing of the past. Let's just say that the ways that we used to live, the orders that we used to follow, and things that we were trained for are no longer. So maybe that's a way that I can present information to you. The world is changing very rapidly, and we are all trying to adjust to it. And they, the necromancers, is what I mean, have a lot to do with it. So the sooner we nip this in the bud, the sooner we can get back to what it is we're trained in.
Bible, do you know a man named Drebin?
I don't know.
Archmage?
An archmage?
Yes.
No.
What about this? And I'll show him the journal. The Belir.
Belir's journal.
Yeah.
And he glances through it, and it's from Belir.
Aye.
Yeah. I don't know him personally. He's just another archivist I was supposed to meet with. But yeah, this looks like someone taking notes and gathering information, as is their job. There's nothing
Is there
that
anything in
interesting. And he takes
that
another
I might
moment.
not be able to decipher that you might be able to?
A hidden message.
Jed, am I able to
Archivist
find a
only
recipe?
lingo.
Archivist to our.
And he'll take a couple moments as he starts more carefully glancing at it. Dagmara, you are rifling through your book and looking for information. You do find not a recipe, but you do find a little kind of side note that talks about magical wounds and how there are some magical wounds do not respond to some types of healing magic versus others. So they will not fully heal with potions. That usually you need some sort of kind of clerical power in order to heal such things.
What did this to you?
The danger that I talked about. Let's just say.
Could you tell us what the danger was?
No, because that
Okay.
was very
Okay.
part of
Why?
my strict orders.
Okay.
But then you want us to give you more information.
I'm not asking you to give me anything.
He's not asking at
I
all.
will.
Hold
I
on
will
a
rest here and then make my way on my own, and I
It's
will
just-
be grateful, and I will certainly report to the Edgeguard.
It's just that, don't you
Seville,
think
that you
if we were
helped.
to all, if we were to all team up and you were to tell us what it was and we were all sort of prepared, we might be able to strike back against this thing. We could even communicate through to the Lara using the psychic network and get some approval on this.
And I'll go into his mind really quickly. If there's something you need to say in confidence to myself that you do not feel that might broach your protocol, you can say it to me or just nod, and I will come to you another time and you can give me that information. And if it's something I need to be quiet about, I certainly will. Over.
And he just looks at you. I appreciate that, and I don't mean to withhold anything from you fine people, especially after saving my life. I want you to know I don't do it lightly. Normally my missions aren't secret, and I could speak freely, but normally I'm not tasked by the king himself to do something for him, and he gave me very explicit instructions. I would rather
Oh.
lay down my life than
Very explicit, you say. So was it not to tell us what it is?
was not to tell anybody. I am not even to report to Belir.
Well, perfect. It's given that it was so strict, it doesn't sound like he said anything about. And I hand over some parchment and my ink quill and my little inkwell and my quill, and I say to just draw it. Give us a clue in case we head that way. You won't be breaking your oath, and you'll have helped the people who saved your life. All will be made right. Now, there you are. There's some paper. And I just lay it out in front of him.
And you see he's really feeling a little not great at this moment. So he's kind of sweating and looking around.
Let me add something to what my dear friend Otto has just asked of you. If we do follow this, because right now you seem to be in no shape to do so, but if this task falls on us, that you have now said this to me in Edgeguard, if I and my friends here are going to follow the map you gave me, in our protection, in our success, is there anything we need to know to fulfill this mission of our king? And you know how much the king means to all of the Edgeguard.
I do. I mean, if I had the book of all my notes, otherwise I have to
Is
recreate
it destroyed? Is there any way we can get this? Did you lose it? Was it burnt in that fire?
I hid it on me, but it was taken when I was captured.
Oh, look, you have paper and pen right in front of you. What a great time to start recreating it.
Who put that there? They are brilliant, whoever did
A
that.
genius.
Okay, I tell you what. Let me rest. I'm sorry. I'm having trouble even focusing on you. Let me think about this.
And I cast right at that point. I look at him and I say, look, I just kind of like crouch. We're all very, very, very tired. And we all want to sleep and get on with our journey as we have planned. But please, kind sir, please, it will be an absolute honor to receive this knowledge from you. And as I say all of this, I cast Charm Person on him.
Okay.
He needs to make a 15 wisdom save.
15.
I feel like in the background, the song is, I can tell by the look in your eyes, baby.
And I'm
There's
like,
something missing.
and I just like I can stroke
All
his
right.
cheek.
I would love, this would be one of the rolls that I would really love to fudge, but it's not. It is a nat 1 with my
Wait,
special skull splitter dice.
You fudge rolls?
I would love to. I didn't say I did.
But you said it was one of the ones. Now
I wish I
I'm
could.
forever suspicious.
And you should be. And you should
Sorry,
be.
lose trust.
What is wrong with my camera tonight?
I don't know.
sucks.
Yeah, it's. What do you got? You got some stuff smeared on it? Yeah.
Otto, are you?
So,
Dad, are you
Oh.
too handsome for this camera?
I am. This is too
I can't handle it.
for this amount
Alright.
of pixels.
Dagmara,
Cannot
you
focus on
watch as
handsome.
he's like starting to sit back, but he's starting to look into your eyes, and he's just leaning in, and he just starts kind of vaguely smiling, and he's just locked in this gaze on you.
And I look at him, so I look at him and I'm like, it would be really, really wonderful if you do that. Now, right.
Yeah. Okay. And he sits up, and he just starts writing out in the same code that he was doing before, that you saw before in the book. That makes no sense to any of you. And it's
Okay.
just-
Take it.
Just, well, don't. I mean, you can also just tell us or draw a picture.
oh, what would you like?
Sorry, tell us.
That's what you'd
describe
really
it.
like him to do.
Draw
right?
it. I'm sorry, yes, you're right. Draw it, please.
Draw it.
And
yeah.
also just, talk about it. Well, we don't have anything else
Talk
to talk
talk
can
about
do-
it, please.
Recreate the cipher and tell
Tell
us
us
about what
everything.
wounded you at the same time. Dagmara, tell him that.
Read the cipher and tell us about what it is that wounded you at
This
the
is a
same
lot.
time.
These are a lot of things. I don't know which
Just
one you want me to do.
multitask, you,
You can
charmed
do it.
little devil.
You
I mean,
can
I
do
can
it.
try to do it all at
I'm
the
gonna
same time,
climb
but I
up
don't
to
think
the
it's
watch.
gonna work. I'll tell you about it
Please.
first, and then I can do the other things. If you go over the mountains, and it's really dangerous.
Right.
On the other side is a enormous forest, the Edeline Forest, and it's those forests. There's no sunlight, and it is dark and cold and full of creatures. And
Like the ones that cut open your chest, I bet. Like, what was that one?
No, that wasn't there. I made it through to the heart of the forest. A river comes out of the mountains, and there is a lake, a large, almost perfectly circular lake in the middle of this forest. And there was no kingdom or queendom that I could find. And I made camp by the water. And at night, I saw things in the water.
Like what?
Lights. And I went and dove down to see what I could see. The bank was really steep. It immediately went straight down. And as I realized it was too deep, I started coming up, but something grabbed me and pulled me down, and I got dragged. And as I started to run out of air, the surface of the bottom of the water broke, and I fell through down onto ground into a massive cave system. And you could see lava, rivers, and fortresses, and I've never seen anything like it. There were creatures. They were different. I've never seen one like it. They were bestial and with chitinous armor, but had it's hard to describe, almost like an elven quality to them, and these amazing castles and fortifications, and there's a whole world down below the surface of this forest.
Dagmar, ask him surface of the forest or surface of the lake?
The surface of the forest or the surface of the lake?
Below the water of the lake.
Below the water.
And your job was to go and figure out what was going on down there.
It was.
But you
That
never
was your
made it
job?
that far because one of these chitin-covered creatures split you open, isn't that right?
Cut me, but I escaped. I used the only kind of tool I had. It was something, some of the arsenal given to me. I think it might even be Edgeguard supplied. I don't know where it came from.
Judd, I am on the perch listening to this, and
Okay.
I'm going to flip through my book of beasts and see if there's like an unusual beast or creature that kind of
Yeah, roll an investigation check
fits
while
that.
you're listening
Well
in.
done, Tabby.
Good idea. And yeah, also, did you encounter anything about Fornouge followers all the while in your investigation? I mean, surely you may have
Not-
seen some hooded figures or
No.
heard about them.
No necromancers until I talked to these traders in Barricage who said hooded figures in the swamp. Don't go. But I had to go.
Why did the chitinous creature attack him? Find out. What happened?
So I got 21, Judd.
Yeah, so you
Why was
you,
he attacked? Is that what you asked, Sarah?
you
Yes,
pour
yes.
through that whole book, Tabitha, and there's nothing that sounds that like kind of quite meets what he's talking about. There are various creatures, the Miri, other things that have chitinous armor that walk on two legs. Nothing that seems like it would have a sort of elven quality to it.
Okay.
Nothing about underground anything.
So when I'm done with this book, I have another book. So I have one about harvesting beasts and one about beasts. So I'm going to check the next book.
Okay, so that was the first one was the harvesting that Seville gave you?
Yeah, that's
Sure, yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Eagle, why was it that you were attacked?
I don't know. I think because I found them.
Ask them who they served, Dagmara.
Got
Who
an
did they
18 on my next
serve?
roll.
The creatures?
Yes.
I don't
Do you know who they served?
No, I got dragged
Did you
out.
see them hearkening to somebody?
There were a lot.
Something?
Sounds like it could have been just a swamp beast. That,
Were they preparing for war, Dagmara?
I can hear, he's talking, but I can hear him. I
I'm
can
saying
talk.
that into her mind.
Oh, you
Well,
are?
he's
Okay.
the one running the charm spell, so he's not going to listen to us, right?
No, I mean, you can see, he looks like,
He listens to Sarah?
he got well, I mean, he got a nat 1 on that, so I'm saying he is well and fully
So
charmed.
he's
Okay, so we can ask.
I'm giving you some bonus
He's
here.
really
I
charmed.
think we can ask. I
All
mean,
right,
yeah.
good. So, were they preparing for war?
I don't think so, but
Why
they
did they
looked
attack?
like if they wanted to, they could.
But why did they attack you? Were they hostile the moment they saw you?
Yes. Good
Yes.
question.
Yes, I think so. I didn't give them any provocation. They dragged me out of the water down below, and as I looked, I stood there in stunned disbelief. They attacked me.
You
And-
might have unwittingly got close to its young or something. For all we know,
No, they seemed like soldiers.
they seemed like soldiers. Why?
Just
The armor, maybe?
Just the bearing. Looked like they were guarding the entrance.
The entrance to the place down below, where
Yes.
the ground split.
Yes.
How did you escape? What was exactly the tool that helped you?
It was like an explosive device. It makes heat and light. And I threw it down and I ran, and there was a sort of like a spiraling ramp that went back up into the water. And I didn't know what I was doing, but I had no other choice. And I ran and I got into the water and I started swimming. And there's something about it that seemed to lift me, because it must have been a couple hundred feet of water. and it sped me along. I ran out of air, but I just kept swimming until I broke the surface, and then I ran. I drank my only healing potion, which helped keep me from dying. And I ran, and I ran, and I ran, and...
Captured.
So brave. I can't believe you could take all of that on alone. I'm terrified, and I've got these 5 around me. Honestly, you're so brave.
Well, I don't
It's a
know
lot
about
to have
that.
gone through.
It's just my job.
And in the meantime, Judd, I
Yeah.
take it I've had a spare 10 minutes between since the time she handed it to me to figure out anything about her bow that we didn't know. I'm going to hand her bow back to her with the knowledge.
And yeah, Eric said, I will text you that later. But
I've got
Chad,
one last question.
The one thing that you, before you hand it back, you kind of take it and you show her that you can smudge really, just like with like a lot of force, and the brown, it's almost some kind of paint or something, just starts, or varnish starts to rub off, and you see this bow is golden beneath that. And again, this has symbols of the sun on it, and other kind of iconography that that you saw back in Kutha from the Korean Academy days. That same kind of image of the sun with the curled flames on the edges. So I'll text you what that bow does later. It's definitely magical.
Aibo.
Oh.
Yes.
Listen.
Yes.
If you were to
I'm
die,
listening.
then this information that you have, this cipher, this book you're talking about, it dies with you. It would behoove you that whatever else you know, to tell me that if something happens to you, we can carry this on.
That was it. All of my notes were of detailed descriptions of what I saw, what I've just told you. The king told me that he suspected that the long legends of that queendom were true, and that it survived the departing, and he didn't want anyone else to know this. I wasn't supposed to tell the archivist what I was doing and where I was. For their knowledge, they thought I was just outside Berekaj on an excavation.
Well, good, because telling myself and these folks is like telling yourself, and I just look at Tabitha and Arisette.
Tabitha's over you, but yeah.
Then I look at Arisette.
Blabbermouth.
Perhaps it's time for you to get some rest that is overdue.
I think it is.
It makes you feel better.
We'll keep
Good
watch.
night.
Yeah.
Evil, be at peace. You've done nothing wrong.
And Abel, just know, no one, and I mean no one, is going to be touching those feet while you're asleep.
I appreciate
That's my
that.
word.
That was really weird.
I know.
sorry.
If you want
I
to,
don't
it's
think
okay
it's
now, but I don't want you to.
No, don't
I
tell her
won't.
that. You're opening a floodgate you won't be able to close.
No,
And I'm just going to use.
Very careful.
it's not for
I'm gonna.
everyone. You can touch my feet anytime.
I'm just gonna use the privilege of the charm spell might as well as he's going to sleep, and I'll say, and if your feet are indeed touched, do not resist. And I look at her and said, kind of wink over and laugh. It's just a little inside joke, just a little joke for Arisette, and I just like walk
won't
away,
resist.
just to see how this guy takes it.
I'm going to bed.
All right.
Poor dwarf.
I'm already up there. I'll take the first watch.
Okay. I'm going to sit and just guard Ibel and, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Listen,
He just.
is he asleep? He
Yeah,
needs
he
rest.
he literally just, he followed your instructions and just lay down and went to sleep.
Yes. This guy's been through so much. I feel so bad, and I feel terrible that he doesn't enjoy foot rubs. If I'd known, I would never have done that to him.
Arisette, for the
just-
next 54 minutes, he will.
Let's
Let's let him sleep, and why don't
Maybe
we all?
not.
I'm
Do
just
that.
teasing.
Yeah.
And also, you might just want to not assume next time. Maybe feel it out. Let them regain some consciousness. That sort of
I don't understand it. I mean, really, it's well. Anyway, I understand. I'm
You
beginning
meant
to
well,
understand.
Arisette. You
But
meant well.
But I do want to know something. I wonder if this bow is magical, and that's why it had that. Oh, I haven't told any of you about this, have I? When we were by the birds, remember, Dagmar, that you so very much wanted to capture one of those birds? I had a vision of sorts. Do you remember? And I
do.
thought you were all dead. Well, when you all died in this, what I thought was real, but it turned out to be some kind of a vision. The only thing that saved it was I fired a shot from this bow, and it had a beam of white light. And so I wonder if.
What do you mean? You shot the bow to save us? I'm not sure. I'm not sure I follow.
Well, it felt very real. I thought that 100% it was happening, and I thought we were all being killed one by one by one.
Right. One of your
All of you. I saw you smooshed flat. You were no longer 3D. You were 2D.
Well, am I right in thinking you're plagued by visions all the time?
But this was much more visceral. This wasn't like a haunting or a nightmare of sorts. This was real. I saw us in battle. I saw all of us
But
attempting.
it wasn't real. Here we are. It was one of your visions.
Otto, when she came to, I was up. I was in reverie. She didn't have the necklace she
No,
has
that's
now.
the thing. I had a necklace when it was all done that I never had before.
It appeared afterwards.
Ah, well, so
Well,
you
ain't that a
never...
thing? And you look over and you see. Oh my God! I almost called him Horcrux. Thanks,
Horcrux. Horshack.
Hortzak.
Arnold Horshack.
Hortzak is standing there,
Hortzak, baby, Hortzak.
and he has this like
Welcome back.
6 foot long, kind of looks like a cross between a catfish and a snake. Quite meaty, and
Like a snake.
I've
Love
got
them.
dinner, but I think we need to get some sleep so we can be ready for whatever our plan is tomorrow. It's getting late.
We
And,
should feed
I'll follow
Frosty
that.
Eagle. He's very weak.
I think let him sleep. He can eat in the morning.
Yes, yes. So you want me to cook? I don't really need to sleep. I can reverie and just watch the soup.
Let's dig in, have some food, and get some rest, I suppose.
Yeah.
One does sleep better on a full belly.
Yes.
I mean, not to tell
And
you your
Otto,
business,
maybe a
but
song.
I
I'd
think
say
that's
so.
Maybe
quite smart.
I would like food, please.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
he sits
let's-
down, he starts
let's eat.
cleaning this and putting strips of this over the fire and cooking, and then throwing, each of you, and you enjoy this meal, and he keeps kind of telling you to stay quiet.
Does Snack return anytime soon?
Not yet.
Dang, he's dead. Or she, sorry.
Come
But-
up here,
Yeah, I just eat some of the food and then I go on to bed until it's my watch.
Okay.
Is it nightfall now, Jed?
Oh yeah, it's dark.
I also don't feel super safe in this swamp, so what I do is I bring Tabby her food, I climb up, and I'm like, here, Tabby.
Oh,
And I sit
thank
next to
you.
her, and we kind of eat together. And I just because I'm assuming that the boards that we made, there's like a room for one person to curl up as well next to you, and I just
Yeah,
say,
there's two
if you
rooms
don't
for two.
mind, do you mind if we share this, and I can take over right after?
Okay, sounds good to me.
All right, I'm already feeling safe. And I kind of snuggle in.
Okay, so Tabitha, are you taking first
Fall
watch?
asleep.
Yeah.
Okay. Right before you do that, Snack does return, and she's got some kind of looks like a large gopher that she's caught, and she sits down and starts tearing at it as the rest of you kind of roll out your bedrolls and stay close to the heat of this fire and drift off to sleep. Tabitha, roll a perception check for me. Perception check. Perception check, Shay. Toots McGee's out there, everyone.
Oh my god.
You might see
Well,
Toots McGee if you keep your eyes peeled. Keep an eye out for Toots.
11.
Okay.
He's been taken, I say, Toots McGee.
You, even from your elevated place, the swamp is a very dark place, and there's especially for a hobbit or for halfling. Sorry, Tolkien. for a halfling, your eyes don't seem to penetrate much past the flickering light, and you're just about to kind of sit back down when you notice Snack's head shoot up. And kind of at first, like, gets into combat mode. You see the hair ripple down her back as she starts to blend in with her environment around her. But then
I'm silently taking out my dagger as
Okay.
I'm watching this.
but
My blink dagger.
it ripples again, and it goes back to normal. And she stands up, kind of head cocked like she's listening, and then she looks up at you, and you get this feeling in your mind, like you've had a connection with Snack, but you've never heard anything from Snack before. But this time you hear, it's not really words, but you get the gist of follow. And then Snack looks forward and very silently creeps into the grass.
I'm going to silently
disappears.
shimmy down the tree and follow.
Okay. You start following the path, and you can see that Snack has pushing down some of this grass, so that even in this darkness, and you close your eyes for a moment, so trying to adapt to the pure darkness here, you can just spot Snack ahead of you, and she turns around every once in a while, and you see those glowing eyes, and you push on through, and it takes you a couple minutes as you go through deeper into this swamp. You can no longer hear any of the sounds of the camp behind you. And
I hope
She's a
Sibyl
couple
was
of
still
minutes.
awake.
She's a couple of minutes away from the camp now.
yeah, she's walking a couple minutes away and following deeper. Nobody wakes when this happens.
Okay.
Great. This is going to be
I don't
good.
even.
Is there a
I don't even feel
chance
anything.
we wake?
You guys were asleep. She was on watch.
I was on watch and I'm abandoning. So
I was the closest. I was the closest.
Yeah,
to her.
what are you
Feel
doing,
anything?
dude?
Anything?
Well, aren't
my
you in
animal talk to me.
Yes.
Okay.
Aren't you in reverie? Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, come watch the camp.
Yeah, you're in reverie. You're both in reverie. Nothing has sparked you to come out of reverie.
All right.
Okay.
You continue to follow.
hell?
Snack jumps over patches of dark swamp water, half-submerged covered logs. Ahead, finally, you see there is a soft, glowing like emerald light, and Snack seems to be padding for it, just moving silently through these reeds,
Okay.
heading right for it.
All right. I'm going to follow. I was told to follow.
You follow, and
What could go wrong?
ahead you see a circle of trees, a clearing not unlike some that you've seen before, but this time the trees are a perfect circle. The trees are almost unnatural in how they have no lower branches. They just are these stalks of these trees with about 3 feet between them. And as you get closer, you see that Snack leaps through the air between these trees and lands and immediately sits down. There is a woman standing in this clearing. And
Oh no. What does she look like?
What are you doing?
she seems to have long, flowing green hair. The light is emanating from her being. She turns to look at you, and there's an ethereal beauty that seems to transcend anything that you've seen before. You're almost not sure. Is it a woman? Is it another gender? It doesn't even matter as you look on this being, but what you see is love, and you feel instantly as your guards seem to be raised as you approach this being, that all just ebbs away, and you feel warmth and comfort.
I'm drawn to her and I just step into like the circle of the trees. The clearing.
And she smiles and she moves to you.
Okay.
What, dude?
Tabitha. Her voice seems to have this echoing effect. Not in a kind of scary way, but almost as if she were talking to you from some great distance.
And I say, why do you know my name? And then I'm trying to like echo the effect. So I'm like, my name.
And she has a
Such a light sleeper.
You see a slight kind of chuckle. Your spirit is so strong.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. I sense many things from you, and I feel you reaching out, and I hope you don't mind that I've taken this opportunity to appear.
I don't mind yet. Yet.
She starts to kind of walk around you, and she towers over you. She's probably 7 feet tall, maybe.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Does this at all remind me of my memory as a child, the hag witch in the swamps back home in Faerun?
When you first arrived, when you saw a kind of shimmering figure, yes, you had a kind of slight panic attack, but it was clear very quickly when you got a better look that this is something different. And
Okay.
when you made contact with her eyes, you felt a warmth spread through you.
Only love. That's what you said. Okay.
Yeah, that you knew this is not the same.
Okay.
She looks down at you. She says, "What we are made to be is not as powerful as what we choose to be."
Snaps for that one.
Yeah, I dig it, Daddy.
Your jokes are understandable, but I don't have much time, and this isn't easy for me.
Okay.
Your desire for knowledge, for magic that flows through this all around, nature, that you call it, all solely to undo that which binds you and your family, your mistake. Your heart
Yes.
thinks on it every moment of the day. I feel your pain, always.
And I'm like creeped out, but like interested into how this woman has sensed like my whole family history, everything. So I just keep listening.
This power, this connection with nature, requires empathy above all else. I am going to grant you this power that you seek so desperately. You and your companions have gone down a road that was not preordained. The simple minds think that the gods decide all. They do not. You have made a choice. You are, however, now bound to this road. And you will need aid. Your soul could go either way, Tabitha Notgrass. But I want you to know there is more to you than even you think. She should be a perfect example, and she looks down at Snack. You did not call this cat to you because of a noise or because of food in your possession. She saw in you what I see. Promise.
And I feel really special, which is what I'm always going for.
And as she's talking, you're feeling this awareness of your environment start to blossom around you. You start to feel the plants that are underneath you. You hear the buzzing of the insects, the birds flying through the air. You feel a connection deepen with Snack. And at that moment, Snack looks up at you. You swear you almost see her smiling as you feel a stronger, just a tether between the two of you. And you have a curious path, but I see a light growing inside of you that others do not yet. You cannot resist taking a side indefinitely, though, and that choice will determine what you do with this power and whether or not you keep this power. Nature is often seen as neutral, but it is not so. It grows and it hungers for the light.
Okay.
Use it wisely. And she turns and she starts to walk away from you.
And I'm like, wait. How do I use it? Use it. Use it.
And she's...
What was that? Oh, I'm sure it was nothing.
She smiles again. You will know. The knowledge will come to you now.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Beautiful green-haired lady.
And then she just looks at you. She just kind of dissipates. And you are plunged into darkness. You can sense, though, things that you could not sense before. And you feel a path emerging back to camp. You know the way, even though you cannot really see. And you reach down, and Snack stands up really quickly and licks your hand. And you just turn, and mindlessly, you're just playing this whole thing over in your head. You start walking back to camp.
Mm-hmm. I actually am going to mount Snack, because I'm just suddenly realizing that I've abandoned my group when I'm the only one that was supposed to be on watch.
It'd be so dope if you got back and like all our throats were slit.
Yeah, everybody's dead.
We're all just like kind of bleeding out. There's like a few necromancers like just kind of, you know.
Okay, so we're gonna
Just chilling.
use some of Snack's speed to
And you just, the moment you decide to ride Snack, she pushes into you, facilitating the mount. You're now so in sync with her that it was unlike any time that you had ever gotten on her back before. It's just like you'd practice it 1,000 times, and just flawlessly, and she just starts quickly darting through, and within seconds, she's and you are in the middle of your camp. And
This is
everybody
so
is dead.
badass.
No.
Oh my
And
god.
everybody's sleeping.
Nobody's dead enough.
Oh, super
And I just think,
cool, super
oh,
cool.
thank God. Oh,
I just want to point out
Tabby.
when I multi-classed into something, we just went about business as usual. And when you multi-classed, it was like I mean, we should honestly finish this off with a parade.
Look, don't be jealous, Chad.
I am. I want a multi-class parade.
Well,
You got
Well,
like
when you multi-class with an evil
got a
patron.
deity, buddy.
Yeah,
You got a
you-
deity.
Hey, evil patrons throw parades too.
They threw
I mean,
Truth.
God.
Well,
Okay, cool. Well,
Threw you all around. He threw you all over the place.
you know,
what's that?
you want a multi-class in quinceañera.
Yes, I do. No,
Alright,
you only
so-
get that once you reach level
matter.
16 in your second class.
Can we have level 16 quinceañeras? What?
Yeah, now it's a thing. Yeah.
okay, so
All right.
I'm
So-
excited. Everyone's asleep. Everyone looks alive and safe. How much more time left on my watch? 'Cause
Worth it. Worth it.
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah, I'm going to say the rest of your watch passes without incident. And
Okay.
you may...
I feel like
passes
chills
without a
all
trace.
over.
Passes without a trace,
Yeah.
invisible.
Okay, and then I wake up whoever's next, which I think we said was Dagmara.
All right. How many hours have gone by?
That
I
was
would
just-
guess.
I mean,
I
that
don't know
was
if time
essentially
changed, but
just like we're let's see, I'm gonna say it's probably just about an hour and a half
Okay,
before
okay.
she wakes up, Dagmara.
And I'm just waking up and I'm like, no, it was the dragon, Tabby.
She only got to sleep for an hour and a half. That's
It's your turn.
she's in reverie.
Yeah, she's
It was
fine.
perfect. I
She's
dreamt. I went into REM sleep
Elves
and I'm
don't
like,
sleep. Elves don't sleep.
like
Tabby.
I want like a
Even
solid
half-elves.
10 hours.
We know you do.
Minimum.
I look at Tabby and I'm
No,
still in
you're
like
an
this
elf. You don't
mid-sleep.
need it.
Elves don't sleep.
Tabby,
Neither do
Tabby
half-elves.
woke me. Well, I'm half
Everyone's
elf.
talking.
All
Okay,
right, yeah.
who's going first?
You don't sleep either.
Yeah.
Oh.
I just want
Okay,
to point
so-
out,
Of reverie.
even though elves can do reverie, it just makes things a lot more convenient if we keep like more or less the same sleep schedule. Just so you guys know, if we can just kind of, it just kind of helps us be able to like, you know.
Well, we do
shit.
the 4-hour talk of the elves that wake up while
Yeah.
they're there. The
It's
8-hour
like-
sleepers.
It's like
Yeah,
you
all
Jesus.
kinds of things
it's
you can do
yeah, it's
before
just
every
kind of
hour
like
day.
All right.
I'm
you-
going to sleep. Dagmara's taking watch.
Yeah.
Yes, but before you do that, I just look at you and I almost like kind of like touch your face. Like you're kind of glowing. What
I'm
was that?
glowing. Thank you. It's my new skincare
very-
routine.
Very.
Just kidding. I'm like,
I have to
thank
read
you.
about that, but you're very radiant.
Oh, the druid.
That must have been quite the watch.
I have to tell you, this. I had the wildest experience, but I'll tell you about it in the morning.
Of course. Always know how to keep people on the hook. Great. Well, sleep well, Tabby.
she's like that chick
Totally.
who's like just got into like her hippie phase. She's just suddenly wearing like flowers in her hair and like nature wreaths and stuff.
All right.
Yeah, so I guess
right.
I go to sleep.
So you go to sleep.
Glowing.
Dagmara, you are up. Is there anything special you want to do? You can roll a perception check for me as you go on watch.
Well, sure, I shall do that. Special, I mean, I'll just try to probably... Hold up. I got perceptions 15 plus 4, 19.
19, okay.
And what I would try to do is I'll probably try to like quiet down, and as I'm looking around, just really quiet down and try to connect yet again to Chaturel, just see if I can hear anything.
And are you up on the platform still?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I tell you what, roll a d20 and just tell me what you got.
Okay. I got an 8.
Okay. You have this moment. It's quiet. And you look over your friends, all sleeping peacefully, including Ebel and Hortzak. And you look out into the darkness. Your eyes can, pick out the various small creatures and things that are flitting about, but nothing looks like there's any danger approaching. So once again, you close your eyes and you concentrate on Chaturel. And very quickly this time, as if the fire below had roared to life, you feel a heat hit your face. Your eyes even flutter open, looking to see if indeed there was fire close at hand. And the feeling doesn't go away. There is a warmth and maybe a presence. You feel something hovering about. What do you do?
I'm just going to speak to it a little bit, and I'll say, well, even if you don't speak to me, I feel like with each try I'm getting closer and closer. Won't bother you much. All I want is to know how to bring him back. That's all.
The heat fades a little from one side of your face. And you feel a heat on one side and a cold on the other.
I look at my scales, run my fingers across them. And I'm super confused because I haven't heard, I haven't seen, when I thought I haven't really felt my dark side flare up for a while. I don't even know what's going on. There's nothing that I'm feeling this ambiguous nature of this lady, and as I'm, or this goddess, and as I'm really trying to figure her out, I just kind of give up. I'm like, whatever.
As you look down at your scales, though, and you start to look away, they start to itch. And you scratch at it kind of absently, and then it itches more. And you scratch again, and it flares into an insane level. And you start digging in, trying to get this itch to go away, and some of the scales start popping off, and it's almost like it's bleeding, and you scratch more, and you're just raking now scales away from you, and blood is dripping down your arm.
Oh my god!
I'm trying to be quiet.
Yeah, and it's just, and it never goes to pain. It's just this insane itch. And you're losing your mind to it. And you're just scratching and tearing and bleeding. And with the last effort, you pull all of the scales off your arm. And the blood is gone, the scales are gone. You see your arm for a second without it, and then it snaps back. And your scales are there. There's no blood. There's nothing happened.
Fake out.
I'm looking around because this is the place where in the swamps is where it all happened. And I just kind of say, where are you? Where are you? I'm ready to face you. 15 years later, I'm ready to face you.
And you get the strangest emotion that passes through you at that moment. As you're feeling anger and you're feeling combative, you suddenly get this spark of hope inside you. And you look back down at your scales again, and for that one brief flash, you remember your arm without them. And that heat
gonna keep,
fades away.
I just put my hand on him and just kind of ever so gently, just kind of thoughtfully touch him and just keep on watching.
All right. So
contemplating this.
The rest of your watch passes without incident. Another hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever you want to do, however you want to wake.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to cause like little droplets with prestidigitation. Who's next? Let me ask that first.
I think I am. I think I said I would be.
Okay. I'm just gonna like play around.
Would it be 4 hours, Chef?
It would be just about, probably pretty close. I think Dagmara would know to like wait till you hit your full rest.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna cause like little like droplets of dew with prestidigitation to just kind of like gently tap on Erisette's forehead and like on her cheeks and just wake her up. I thought you might want to use some fresh water for a change. It's also your watch.
What's your watch?
All right.
Okay. Uneventful.
Uneventful. For
calm out there?
The world around. Yes, nothing really. Total peace outside of this area. I feel fine. And I just kind of try to hide.
Okay. You can go back to sleep. Enjoy.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Erisette, roll a perception check for me for your watch.
Okay. Okay, that'll be 19.
Okay. So yeah, you again with those elven eyes, you have no problem seeing out into the darkness.
Is it a full moon tonight?
It is not. No.
What kind of moon is it tonight?
hold on, I can tell you. It's close to a full moon. It is a gibbous.
Okay.
Gibbous? Yeah. So
Okay.
close. You're probably like 2 days away from a full moon.
Okay. Okay. So, do I climb up into the tower? I guess.
You don't have.
Or
It's
do
up to
I
you. You
let
don't
her
have to.
stay sleeping?
Actually, no. They're both sleeping up there, so you can't.
Okay, I'll let you stay there. I'll just be down here. You can go back to bed. Up there.
Okay.
Safer for you.
Yeah.
So, I'm by myself and I'm by the fire, and I'm just stroking this necklace that I got, and I'm trying to reflect over what everything that's happened. And I decide to call to Sehanin, which is my god.
Dahui?
As you do that, though, you, out of the corner of your eye, you see very silently, standing up and starting to slip out of camp, is Evil.
What are you doing?
So, Judd, I'm right there with Evil. and
Oh, okay.
I'm awake.
Okay.
You're awake, or you're in reverie. Or,
No, I'm out of reverie in 4 hours. So as Ariset woke up, I'm awake and right next to him.
Okay, well then you can see
Okay.
him too. He stands up and.
All right. I'll just grab his arm lightly. No, I mean, he can go where he wants. What's the rush out of here, my friend?
I think I've told you all enough.
What's your plan from here then?
My plan
Evil?
is to do my mission, and I'm leaving.
What do you plan to tell of us?
That's fine, Evil. On your way then. Do you need weapons?
No, not necessarily. What is your plan to tell of us, Evil? What is your plan as to us? Do you
I-
plan to report that you've met us?
Sounds like they're raising their voices. Do they wake us up?
Yeah, Ariset,
You want to be woken up so bad.
Well, hold
know.
on. Am I right next to him and Ariset's up on the tree?
No, she's not
No,
on
I'm
the tree.
not on the tree. I'm down.
She's down.
okay,
She's just around the fire. Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah, actually, and this is starting to cause a commotion. And actually, nope. Hortzak sleeps through it. He's just a full crocodile sleep.
I didn't mean to raise my voice that much, but I have a firm tenor in my voice, to be sure.
Yeah, Chad, what is your
Ariset, he's not a
passive perception?
prisoner. Ariset, he's not a prisoner.
My passive perception.
He's not an ally either.
Yes, he is very much an
Actually-
ally because he gave us a lot of intel, and him and I work for the same cause.
My passive perception's
He
12.
is an ally.
Yeah, I'd say you're hearing this.
And I'm just like, can you all keep it down?
Sorry, Otto, we'll move away and we'll move Ibo.
And I kind of see the
Ariset's
three of
ally.
them, and I'm like, what's the trouble?
It's fine. I go to Evil and I grab him by the hand and I say,
And when she says it's fine, like now I really know something's up. So I
Okay, you
kind of
get
like get up sighing, and I like walk over, and I'm just like, what is going on?
I say to him, I grab him by the hand. I do like a where you shake the hand and you bring him in and you grab your forearm, kind of like a very like control handshake.
What?
I do. And then I'm like,
He's not
I
gonna.
say to him,
He's resisting.
I'm with Ibo. I'm throwing Ariset's
Look,
hand.
enough of this shit. I'm out
Like a
of here.
hypnotist's handshake?
I'm standing between her and
Let-
Ibo, and I said, enough, Ariset.
Let go,
Enough,
elf.
let me get a word out. I say, Abel, do as you
Don't
will.
touch him.
You must know what brought me here to begin with. You and I hopefully serve the same cause.
That's great.
And if
You
you
can tell other
spread-
people. And he pulls his hand out.
I've killed others for the risk that you're posing right now. I just want confirmation from you that you'll keep your mouth shut about us.
Oh my god, she's
I
having
go
a moment
right-
again.
I'm doing
I
my
go into
job.
Ibo's mind, and I said, you and I are like kin. Do your duty, man. Do
And
you
he
need
just
any
looks at you for a second, and he turns and he walks into the darkness.
Done.
And
Is
he's
he gonna
walking.
trip up a rune?
He's walking
Yeah,
toward the
you're walking
towards
toward
the water.
runes, big dog.
He's walking towards the water, actually.
All right,
Oh no.
let him
just-
go.
Do
Eric.
I like hear any like twigs breaking that are like newly like sounds that I'm attuned to? And
I think your passive perception's pretty low, isn't it? Let me see.
I think so. I think I'm probably just snoozing, but it was worth a shot.
I think she might be trained in perception, but whatever the case.
Oh yeah,
may
no,
be,
it's higher. Yeah, I mean, you hear it too. I mean, you've got a 15. Yeah, you're gonna.
I mean, I just let this guy go. I mean, it's. Yeah, I mean, just like
enough.
quietly,
Yeah,
like watch him
he's
go
just-
and go back to bed.
Yeah, and he's gone.
He's gone.
You hear some kind of a bit of water splashing as he goes up the river, and that's it.
All right.
As you
I'll sit
know,
back down
for
in
those
my
who
bed.
cast that spell, a person knows if they've been charmed when it
Yep.
ends.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Well, at least we got info out of him.
I mean, we offered, like, I expressly offered the guy, like, you can hang with us and we can keep you safe since you're like falling apart physically. I mean,
If Seville's any indication, these people.
What does
who
that
are-
say? What does that say about us? Someone would rather be alone than have adventuring protection when their chest is falling apart. We are an insufferable lot. But no, I mean, yeah.
Insufferables. That's our name. The Insufferables.
Insufferables.
Oh God! Oh no!
there it is.
Insufferables. Yeah. I mean,
Honestly, probably
Auto-
like
Finally.
It's definitely proving true. But all right, y'all.
So
So
I'm sitting back down on my my bedroll, and I'm just going into looking over my stuff, going into some meditation stuff, and just
all right, and Hortzak, he puts
waiting
his head
for
out.
my
He's like,
turn to watch.
"We all go back to sleep so we can do something fun tomorrow." Good God! And it rolls over.
well. Do I take a long rest since I got my
Yeah,
long
you
rest?
have a long rest. Seville has a long rest. Not Dagmara yet, and not the rest of it.
But-
So just those two elves. Dagmara, you're an hour behind them. But I'll say, in the interest of moving this along, unless anybody has
Well,
something that they
we're gonna be
have to do
doing-
tonight.
Wait,
we're
I
going to be
do
doing
want to do
camp for a
something.
long time.
Yeah.
I want to do something.
Okay. I'm sure it's something
No, no,
super
I've been-
exciting. What is
Yeah,
it?
it is. I'm just waiting till Arisa goes back onto her watch,
Okay.
and then I'm just taking out the vial of ashes, what's left of that tree,
Okay.
The magic tree.
and I'm just
Little
saying,
sweet baby golden tree.
I'm tuning into that feeling I had against that tree that turned when I had that experience of Chaterelle in Luknor. And I say, I don't know if there's anything left about this tree, but I am truly sorry, Chaterelle. But perhaps, if there is, then let it be in me. And I dump the ashes into my mouth, and I take my water skin, and I pour it into my mouth, pour it into the vial, rinse it all out, and I drink the ashes.
What is going on right now?
It's gonna have a tree growing inside.
You're drinking burnt tree ashes.
It's
And
like
I-
Just in case it turns into some sort of
Tree
magic.
baby.
And I
mean-
go back into sort of my meditation and let the time pass.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
What a night it's been.
It's been quite a night.
Kind of like we like acid. Feels like.
I think because we camp so and rest so infrequently
of the
that when we
dinner.
rest we feel like we gotta get
We gotta
get some
We gotta get it
Otto,
going.
Otto,
Yeah.
as you sleep. No, I'm kidding. I think we had.
I keep my watch and that's it, dog. Like that's
Yeah.
it.
Thank you. All right, I'm gonna say, in the interest of time, actually here I'll do the rest of the rolls. That's weird. Those are both. Oh, look at that. That's super weird. I got 3 10s in a row.
All right, that sounds like obviously something special.
No,
Sounds
no,
like
it's a calm night, and there's. I mean,
He says that with such disappointment. Do you see that? How he's just like,
yeah.
I was rooting for something to come in.
Well, we want to kick a little spice, but honestly, there are things at play this night that make this a very special night, as far as your camp and your people and things that are happening here. You can meditate on that later. But the morning comes, cold, dark, as the sun is struggling to get through. The fire has died down, and
Let's go.
Hortzak stands up and says, "All right, necromancers or this sword thing?" What are we doing?
Necromancer.
Sword thing. We've already voted. Remember?
Sure.
Good
All right,
morning.
back up the river. Come on. And he starts dragging the boat back into the water and heading upstream. I'm going to say, again, in the interest of time, because I'm trying to move this along a little bit, you all backtrack. You have to go all the way back to Pelkey. So, Tabitha, you didn't see this before, but this is a town that is built on stilts over the swamp. And you see these kind of decrepit buildings here. You see the massive tree. It must be the same kind of species of the one that the Hag's Hollow was made from. Broken on its side, and Portsack's house is right next to it. It's covered with this really thick moss. But instead of docking, he takes the boat to the right, and there are 3 rivers that leave from Pelkey. The furthest one is, having showed him the map, he's following the smallest river from Pelkey. And after some time of navigating, and in this area doesn't seem as affected as the main river that you went before. It's still heading south, but it's much more kind of an easterly direction. So you're kind of going off more east really than south. And after about, 2-3 hours, you come to this massive rock formation that you can see. The trees are at least 10-15 feet away from it. There's a little bit of a clearing as this rock towers up and about 30 feet from the side of the river.
Judd, before, I'm going to say like right before we get to that rock formation, I've just been sitting there and I have taken off my pack and like it's sitting on my lap, and it strikes me that the boots that my like spare pair of boots that I have like dangling off the side of my bag are made out of crocodile skin. And so I just like kind of silently roll them and kind of tuck them into my pack and like close them.
Yeah, I think we actually did that for you on the...
Okay, fair enough. This has happened at one point.
Yeah. I think it was Otto or somebody who came up with that, having to hide those boots.
Yeah. Great.
Cool. All right.
Proceed as normal.
All right. This is your rock. It doesn't say anything on this map you got here about how to get in, if there's an in.
It's that from there. We go. It says. I wrote it down.
Hang on, me too.
It said below the stone. So below the stone.
Below the stone.
And I jump out.
Okay.
And how deep is the water here?
Oh, you're on the edge. She's pulled it up to the edge, so it's marshy here.
I have entrance for side chamber, stone, sword.
Shall we do it together, Tabs?
Yeah, why don't you both roll an investigation check as you search for this supposed entrance.
That is...
See if it's worth the price you paid.
15 for me.
Well, what am I rolling? Investigation?
Yeah.
21.
21. And Erset, you got a 15?
Yeah.
Erset, you do a quick, 360 around this massive rock, and you're looking for any sign of an entrance or anything. You can't find anything. Tabitha, you are being a little bit more thorough as Erset is rushing around. You're taking a little bit slower, and you kind of half close your eyes a few times, feeling the plants and trying to utilize a little bit of this skill. You start moving bushes out on the way, and your hand pushes, as you're moving one of the bushes, it pushes into some thick, mucky mud down at the base of this stone. And you kind of back up and you look and you pull the bush away again and you scoop in, and this mud seems like you can just pull this mud out. And after a couple quick minutes, you realize that there is a tunnel here that has been completely mudded over on the outside. It's not very big. It's probably
All right, I
like
found something.
2.5 feet wide, and you go about 2.5, almost 3 feet deep, pulling out this mud, which hardens into compacted clay. Basically, you pull out a dagger and you kind of ching, 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 ching,
You can make
and
statues.
manage to kind of break through, and you see there's just like this tunnel goes down, kind of curving down into the land, and there are vines hanging into it, like roots hanging into it, like worms kind of crawling around as you're scooping some of this stuff out.
Can't wait to go in there.
Yeah, it looks dark and gross, but it definitely goes downward.
Worth it. Do I see that she found it?
Yeah, I summon everyone over. I'm like, come on.
Yeah,
look
you
at
all
this.
are
Take a
standing
look.
there.
Do you think we all need to go, or should we dive in together and get it and come back out?
I think we all need to go in. I mean, what if we get in there and there's other people who are in there, and then it's like,
Let's all go in. Come
Okay.
all right, who's going first?
I'll go first.
Great.
And I just kind of zoop right in.
on. And I'm
That's
gonna
like when
zoom
everyone was
behind her.
looking. When everyone was looking for the Fountain of Youth, like the Spaniards, the
Yeah.
Brits, like they all go and meet each other right there.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
They're like, oh hi, you're here.
Oh, hello.
Oh,
Standoff.
Oak Island.
Funny seeing you here.
Yeah.
But yes, I follow too.
We all have to fight over
I'll
this
go,
now.
I'll go
Okay.
in last with
It's
horse.
gonna get messy.
All right, and Hortzag is like, I'm a little concerned about this. I won't lie.
So am I. So we'll go last. Let them go first.
I mean, a fitting.
Oh, you can't fit your big body through this
Well,
tunnel.
I'm gonna try, but I'm concerned about it. Maybe, Seville, why don't you go after me so you can pull me out if I
Well,
get stuck?
you could always stay and watch the boat, just in case anyone
and
stumbles
miss
across it.
adventure. No.
Well, no,
son.
that's a very important part of an adventure, to be guarding an important vehicle.
Yeah, try that
right?
on
I mean,
someone. You
Oh,
know.
he'll fit. He'll fit. Just
get through.
we might want to moisten his sides a little bit to try to.
that
It
sounds
looks pretty
like
slimy.
something-
I
Like
think it'll be
scurry
all
his
right.
way through.
That
Alright,
sounds
I'll
like
pull
something
you.
more.
I'll pull you or push you. You're fancy.
All right, I'll go before you.
All right.
All right, so what's the order going down?
Okay, we're doing Erisette, Tabitha,
I'll
Gabby,
be or sure, I'll be-
Otto,
That sounds great.
Seville, Horseradish. What's his name?
Hortzag.
All right, Hortzak, and I'm last.
Gonna-
Horsack,
I hear
baby
Ashley chuckling right
Horsack.
All right.
And
that's
as I'm
fine.
going through, I'm just loving my prestidigitation new ability. So as
We
we're going
see
through,
that.
I'm like, I'm casting. I know that Otto is right behind, so I'm
Fucking
casting
catfish.
a little spell which will recreate the sound of a slithering snake, like it's like kind of around.
Oh,
So
you're
he can hear.
out.
Only he can hear it though. I'm not trying to disgruntle my ladies up front. To Otto, like I'm kind of like casting it
yeah.
back. So now
Like,
I
I just like pull out my sword and I'm like, halt! Never mind. It's clear. I'm like really proud of myself.
It's
I
gone.
just turn and I'm like, you're a very brave man, Otto. Very brave.
I'm like, huh. No one's ever said that before.
Oh,
As you kind of army crawl down here. Mad Bird! Hello, friends.
So, Mad Bird.
So yeah.
Crawling.
So, I'm sorry, and Tabitha, you were first?
No, Erisette was first.
Erisette was first, okay. I should have written it down when I asked you, but I didn't. So, Erisette.
Actually, I think it goes around. Well, maybe your guys' Zoom looks different than mine, but it's like exactly in a. It goes like
Oh.
around clockwise for me.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh.
No, yeah, it's different. It's different.
Counterclockwise.
Okay, so Erisette, you and you know it pinches at a couple places and it's gross. It is like slimy and I mean this seems like it has been sealed off for quite some time.
I'm so
And
excited. I don't care.
And it seems like it's slowly spiraling downward into the land.
Okay.
Still complete like this is carved rock. And and so it's not transitioning to mud or anything like that. It's still stone, but with a like this kind of muck covering on it. And you go and you can see that it's starting to pitch down a little bit steeper, and so you keep going, and then it's just like all of a sudden you slip a little bit, but you're like, it's okay, and you keep going, and then it's like you slip a little more, and then you just kind of like lose all of your friction, and you just start sliding, and you're just like shooting down this tunnel, and kind of going up a couple times, and it's just going, and you're picking up speed like side to side, and roots are hitting you in the face and scraping your body, and the rest of you hear, and she's gone.
And I'm like, halt! Let's just see how bad that is before we go ahead. Erisette!
And then Erisette, it drops almost vertical. It's like, you know, a roller coaster, it's like boom, and you just fall, and you come off of the stone as you're like, oh my god, and then it like you hit stone again, and it smooths out to this kind of like curved into this to the bottom of this thing, and you like slide out and spin, realizing you're in a bigger space. You catch the edges of, was it wall? You're not sure, or stone, cavern. You're still screaming, but slowly like spinning and coming to a stop.
Do we hear like the thump of the stop?
You hear like all of her like screams,
Yeah,
and
I call out ahead. Erisette!
And then I'm like,
I think she's.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
It's okay. All right, and then I just like hug, like bear hug Snack, and proceed forward to go down the same tunnel.
okay, yeah, and
And I look at
one by
Hortsack,
one.
like, what are you worrying about? If Snack can fit through, you can fit through, brother.
He's bigger than Snack, at least
Snack
wider.
is a petite.
Yeah. There's a
Flower
He's a
of
cat.
cat.
He's a 7 foot tall croc man.
Yeah.
Well,
Barbarian.
And Snack is live as
Yeah.
a feline, so.
Yeah.
Well,
So
Literally
one by
liquid.
one, you all go down there. Erisette, you can hear, they're all screaming one by one as they're following this path. It's like, it's okay. And as you say that, behind you, you spin around, and
Door close?
There are these
Teleporting
flames,
peeps.
these like
Oh.
golden flames erupt from these massive braziers, giving light to this room, which you now realize is like 40, 60 feet high cavern. And behind you, you see these two standing, they look like kind of like cats if they were on two legs. And each cat holds this brazier, and they just erupt with this golden light that's flickering around, showing you this room. There is this
Showing here.
big, right there.
Oh.
There
There
it
you
is.
go.
Wow, wow, wow.
Perfect.
There it is. There's
Hold it,
the-
hold
There
it,
it
cat.
is.
Hold it.
Oh my god.
It's like
Just like
he's
that.
trying to pose. Look at him. Look.
Yes. Now I'm changing it. Now they're holding it overhead.
No, they're on their heads.
Oh,
Oh, they're looking at you.
that is
my
not a happy
God.
No,
cat.
they're holding it with one hand.
That
like-
cat is like, what are you doing to
That
me,
cat's like,
Mom?
I'm gonna kill you
It
tonight
just
in your
woke
sleep.
up.
I love this cat.
I'm afraid of that every night.
I bet. With that one, I would be. And there's a huge door, like 20-foot tall doorway between these two statues. As one by one, you guys come plummeting and barreling out. Some get like just getting to their feet. The next person like knocks them off their feet, and it's pretty comical.
Goonies!
Yeah, exactly. This is a total Goonies moment. As you all finally, you know, even Horcrux. Oh my God, I'm doing so good.
Horseradish, Horcrux.
As soon as the croc dude.
Stack. You'll never act.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Actually, let's roll for Erisette's health. Oh, you're fucked. Yeah. As one by one, you all make it out. Even our crocodile beloved guide. You all stand and look at this massive doorway ahead of you, and one by one, you start moving over to see what this could be, and that's where we're going to end it tonight. So.
Nice.
All right.
Oh,
this
underground. With cat braziers. Wow.
Cat
Yes, we are.
braziers.
So
Yeah,
does
and
this mean
everyone-
Hat
that
Braziers.
does that mean that this cliffhanger will last into next year?
Yes.
No. We have next week's episode.
Oh, right.
Right.
Yeah. So we have one more. So we have one more episode of our Anacroli campaign, and then we are going to be doing a holiday one shot. I've now changed it to a holiday one shot. Well, thank you for that follow. It should be a lot of fun. We just want to do something special and something that's just like show up and have a blast and have some holiday cheer, and let's close down 2020, y'all. Let's put this year behind us.
Period on
'cause
that baby.
Damn.
It's Toots McGee making an appearance in this holiday one shot.
No, thank you. No, I will not take Toots McGee away from Peter. He's going to be running that one shot at some point in the future. I think he's waiting for we're back on set. So
Till we're all together. We need to be
You
all
can do
together.
the Valentine.
we've got to be together when you're hunting Toots McGee.
We have to be together. Toots needs all of us hand in hand.
This just in. Toots McGee spotted. So I can do that all night. Sorry. Yeah, that's a different one shot. This will be a
Dimensional
happy
job.
holiday one shot.
Got
Details
it.
to follow. That will be on December 18th. Oh, there's some cheer. Well, thank you, Fane's Pomp. Oh.
Oh, nice.
And thank you to all of our new followers tonight and for our rating peeps. Really appreciate the support and the love.
Absolutely, guys.
So we didn't advance as far as I thought tonight, which is pretty standard for us, but that was an important episode as our Tabitha is now dabbling in the druidic arts. It's pretty
We'll
cool.
see how it goes.
The parade should be, I think, next time.
Yes, we'll prepare
Yes,
it. I'll use my
Otto,
prestidigitation to
Yeah.
bring sparklers.
My parade has been delayed.
Fireflies?
Yes. I'm sure, Otto, that your parade is waiting for you.
Oh, yeah. Dark alleyway.
Yeah.
Well, me and my patron, frankly, are having like a little bit of like a thing right now, but I won't get into it with you guys right now.
Little scuffle.
There's a thing happening.
Teeny tiny.
Falling out.
You guys
Yes.
are having your moment.
It's just like me and my patron, our relationship status says it's complicated right now.
Kidding, I get
It
that.
is.
And it is
That's tough.
complicated. Yes.
Love hurts.
This Anacroli
It's a tough
place is full of
It's a tricky
danger
place.
and death. Yes, but you guys are doing great, and so we'll see you back next Friday for more of this wonderfulness. If you haven't joined us on Discord, jump over there, hit us up, come talk to us, talk all things D&D. And all the various fun crap that we talk about over there. It's an amazing community. It is the best community. We love you all. And I think that's about it. So have a wonderful weekend. Everybody be safe, wear masks, do all that stuff. Let's kill this thing.
Just stay home, in fact.
Yeah,
Don't go anywhere.
We're in LA. We
Let's-
have to stay home now. So the rest of you stay home. Let's kill this thing and start
Good thoughts.
a better
Good thoughts.
year.
Put it out there. We
Yeah.
could use a lot more good. So just put it out there. Focus on the good.
Be kind.
Focus on the
Sam.
good.
Great reminder.
Focus on
Great
the
reminder.
good.
That's
Be
right.
kind, rewind.
that's a throwback. All right. All right. Love you all. We'll see you next week.
Love you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Have an awesome weekend.
Happy Friday.